She is Lin Weixia, a cold and brilliant girl from a poor family, while he is Ban Sheng, a handsome and arrogant young master from a wealthy family. The girl with a butterfly birthmark on her left, I became the boy's salvation as a child. Unexpectedly, they would meet again when they grew up. That day was very cold and quiet. The sticky smell of blood mixed into the darkness, making it hard for him to breathe. The scene of his mother's murder kept replaying. She felt like she was falling into a bottomless abyss. Besides death, she couldn't think of any way to escape this torment. Just as she was about to let the darkness swallow her, she saw a faint light in it, bringing brightness, warmth, and goodness. The girl took out a candy from her pocket and placed it in his palm. She told him that the sun is fair and merciful. It just sometimes forgets to shine on good people. My mom says life is like a sour plum candy. It's always sour first, then sweet. Things will get better if you keep going. Only then did the boy have the thought of living on. As the girl turned to leave, he quickly asked, "What's your name?" The girl smiled and waved at him. "It's a secret. We'll meet again if fate allows." Several years passed in the blink of an eye, and they arrived at high school. The homeroom teacher was sweating profusely. "Your grades and credits are all excellent. Although you're a bit weak in science subjects, your overall performance is still at the top. You even won first prize in the essay competition last year. The teacher is looking forward to your performance after transferring here." Suddenly, a tissue was handed to her. Faced with the teacher's praise, Lin Weixia became much calmer. "Thank you, teacher. I'll do my best." He was surprised and accepted it with a smile, wiping the sweat from his face. "I remember inviting you before, but you refused. Now you're here. To be honest, I'm quite surprised." Lin Weixia's eyelashes fluttered. She softly replied, Now I have a reason to come." Lu Shiping led Lin Weixia into the classroom. The room was filled with noise. Boys in the back were playing around with a mop, laughing and joking. Lu Shiping tapped the desk with a ruler. "Quiet. We have a new student joining our class. She will also be the new Chinese class representative. Now, let's welcome her to introduce herself." She stood there, smiling slightly. "Hello everyone, my name is Lin Weixia. Please take care of me." In the overly quiet classroom atmosphere, a few voices emerged. The voices weren't loud, but they were full of mockery. "She's quite cute. Not bad, her skin is nice. Becoming the Chinese class rep right away. Her grades must be good. Haha, dress so poorly. She must be from a poor family. Haha, dress so shabbily. She must be from a poor family." Lin Weixia seemed unaffected. Her voice was gentle. "Teacher, where should I sit?" Lu Shiping told her. "You can sit in any empty seat. We'll rearrange later." Ning Xia casually raised her hand. "Sit here. The seat next to me is empty." Lin Weixia walked down and decided to sit next to her. Soon, she heard whispers. "Good thing she's not sitting next to Ban Sheng, right? I've never seen any girl worthy of sitting next to him. Ban Sheng didn't come today either. What a pity." She turned her head to look at that desk. The name Ban Sheng was written on the textbook. This was the person they had just mentioned. Ning Xia enthusiastically greeted her and introduced herself as Ning Xia. She calmly replied, "I'm Lin Weixia. Were you also recruited here based on your height?" Ning Xia responded with a sarcastic smile. "Don't you know? Shengao admits a small number of students from social care programs every year to maintain their own birth rate. I'm one of those F students. There are also A students. You'll soon deeply understand how ridiculous this class system is." Lin Weixia nodded thoughtfully. "Is that so?" The cold, brilliant girl became a subtle starlight for the handsome, aloof young master. Unexpectedly, they would meet again after many years. After class, Lin Weixia went to the bathroom alone. Just as she was about to push the door open, she heard girls complaining softly. "It's so annoying that Ban Sheng didn't come today. This makeup was all for nothing. I even skipped Jack to do my makeup." Lu Xijia let out a snort of laughter. While applying lipstick, she sighed, "All he cares about is basketball and astronomy. How could he notice you?" Another girl chimed in, "Why don't you ambush him at the observatory? After all, the school's observatory is all his. No one else can enter. Then you can just take off your clothes." They started to make a fuss, laughing and joking around. Finally, Lin Weixia pushed the door open. Lu Xijia exclaimed excitedly, "Weixia, I thought you were lying about coming to Shengao." Lin Weixia stopped at the doorway, giving her a slight smile, as if responding to some kind of telepathy. Afterwards, the two of them came to a spacious corridor. Lu Xijia stood there, breathing in the fresh air. I didn't expect to see you here. Your written test score was quite high, just 2 points behind our school's best. Lin Weixia sipped her yogurt, curiously asking who it was. When she mentioned this person, her voice became very sensitive. Bon Xin. Lin Weixia only remembered the word observatory. Lu Sijia snorted. Right, you heard those girls in the bathroom talking about it? The school's observatory is his because his family donated 2 experimental buildings to the school. Who wouldn't want someone like him? Lu Sijia noticed her taking out her phone and asked what she was doing. Lin Weixia replied flatly, reminding about the Chinese homework at the observatory. She excitedly grabbed the phone. I'll remind him for you. A few minutes later, Lu Sijia returned the phone to her. Her usually composed face showed a hint of excitement. It's set for Saturday at 5 p.m. to pick up the homework. I'll go for you tomorrow. Lin Weixia nodded. Lu Sijia happily linked arms with her. Quick, help me think about what I should wear tomorrow. She replied with an mem and said, I'll give you some suggestions. Saturday at 5 p.m. She was working part-time at Xinhai Internet Cafe. Xingao doesn't allow students to work off campus, so today was her last day to wrap things up. Suddenly, she heard a loud bang. She quickly turned to look. She saw 2 young men fighting. Lin Weixia immediately called the security downstairs. This is Lin Weixia from the front desk of Xinhai Internet Cafe. There's a fight breaking out here. Come quickly. Just as she finished speaking, an ID card was thrown her way. She was confused, not understanding what it meant. Looking up, she saw a boy in a white hoodie dragging out a skinny boy. The tall boy left a message. I'll pay for the damages. Lin Weixia picked up the ID card and looked. The boy had short hair, high brow bones, thin lips, and a straight nose. Few people could make their ID photo look this good. Her gaze lingered on the information on the ID card. The name was actually Ban Sheng. So this was the person who hadn't submitted his homework. Shouldn't he be with Sijia right now? Lin Weixia thought for a moment, then ran out into the rain. In a small alley, she witnessed this scene. The skinny boy was sitting on the ground, pale-faced, hugging the legs of the boy in the white clothes. He begged, please don't hit me anymore. I'm begging you. He casually lit a cigarette and coldly uttered a few words. It's too late to beg now. Beat him. Lin Weixia ran over, hesitantly speaking, classmate Ban Sheng. He was wearing a hat that covered most of his face, revealing only a slightly raised chin. He turned to look. Seeing the butterfly birthmark under the girl's right eye, he thought of his childhood. That girl had the same birthmark. He became even more certain it was her. Standing still, he was dumbfounded for several seconds before reacting. The cold, brilliant girl Lin Weixia. The cool, handsome, rich young master Ban Sheng met again. The boy still remembered her, but the girl didn't recognize him. The atmosphere suddenly went quiet for a few seconds. Lin Weixia slowly spoke. He's almost beaten to death by you. Ban Sheng, with a cigarette in his mouth, snorted coldly. He bent down to pick up a stick from the dark corner of the wall. The skinny boy instinctively backed away, but there was nowhere to retreat. Ban Sheng spoke coldly. Someone's pleading for you now. Should I give you some face? He then slowly tapped the boy's face with the stick. He chuckled, slowly saying, I'll give you some face, and continue beating you. Seeing Ban Sheng about to continue hitting, Lin Weixia had to grab the hem of his clothes. Her light-colored eyes looked at him. She angrily asked, why are you being violent here? Yuantu became anxious. What are you talking about? What violence? My brother is clearly... Ban Sheng quickly raised his hand, signaling Yuantu to stop explaining. He sensed a hint of disgust, tossing the stick away. The skinny boy, pressed against the wall, was almost scared enough to wet himself. Ban Sheng glared at him, slowly enunciating 2 words, get lost. The skinny boy seized the chance to quickly escape. Thank you, Brother Ban. I'm leaving now. Lin Weixia glanced at the smoking boy and questioned, weren't you supposed to meet Sijia for homework? Why are you here? He casually extinguished the cigarette, the sparks sinking into his palm. He lifted his eyelids to look at her again, his cheek twitching slightly. He slowly said, Sijia is considering. I don't really like proactive ones, but if someone like you comes to chase me, I might consider it. Hearing these words, Lin Weixia cautiously stepped back. The phone in her pocket vibrated with a muffled sound. She took it out and looked down at the screen. The displayed message revealed the owner's anxiety. I've been waiting in the park near his house for over 2 hours. Still haven't seen him. I lost my wallet too. It's getting dark and a typhoon is coming. She hurriedly typed a reply, her tone reassuring. Don't worry. Send me the address. I'll come get you. She then quickly turned to leave. Ban Sheng watched her departing figure, unable to react for a long time. Yuantu stepped forward, reminding him, Brother, the typhoon is coming. What should we do? Ban Sheng finally withdrew his gaze, slapping the back of Yuanto's head. He said curtly, "Let's go." He let out a sigh. Lin Weixiao indeed hadn't recognized him. 30 minutes later, Lin Weixiao arrived. She saw her sitting alone, crying, arms wrapped around herself, seeming cold. She concernedly draped her coat over her. She apologized, "Sorry, there was traffic. I'm late." Lu Sijia immediately threw herself into her arms, sobbing, "Thank you." Lin Weixiao froze for a moment, but then relaxed, raising her hand to pat Lu Sijia's head. "Next time, if no one shows up, just go home directly." She coughed a few times. "I was just bored." The rain lightened, and they prepared to leave with umbrellas. Lu Sijia hesitated. "Weixia, about today's incident." Lin Weixia spoke timely, her voice gentle. "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone." Lu Sijia sighed in relief, saying thank you. As they walked, they came to a convenience store. Lu Sijia ran over to buy something. She asked the owner, "Do you have Huangdalu cigarettes?" The uncle shook his head, "Sold out." "Want to see other brands?" She looked disappointed, "But he only likes this brand." Lin Weixia stood behind, slightly frowning. If she remembered correctly, Ban Sheng was smoking Huangdalu when he was beating someone in the alley. Is someone like Ban Sheng really worth liking? She was the new transfer student, the general top student Lin Weixia. And he was the cool, rich young master Ban Sheng. Students were divided into A-class and F-class based on their status. A-class students were born strong, generally from good families with excellent study conditions. F-class was more complex, born weak, either with poor grades or ordinary family backgrounds. Lin Weixia and Fang Mo went out to get hot water. Some girls saw them. Noticing she was a new face and quite pretty, they decided to approach and ask which class she was in. One of them put her hand on her shoulder. "Hello, classmate. May I ask?" Lin Weixia slowly turned around. When she saw her face and eyes, she was slightly stunned. As her gaze passed over the school uniform bow on her chest, her expression immediately cooled. She raised an eyebrow. "You're F-class." Lin Weixia looked a bit confused, then belatedly nodded. The girl scoffed disapprovingly, wiping the hand that had touched her with a tissue. She threw it into the trash, next to Lin Weixia, then left with her companions. The two behind her looked back at Lin Weixia, discussing in low voices. Their eyes showed some appreciation, mixed with contempt. "She looks good. Too bad she's F-class. Looking closely, she does have a poor aura about her." Ha ha ha. Fang Mo also disliked those A-class students. She told Weixia, "Don't mind them. They're always like this." She walked while introducing herself. "Hi, I sit next to you. My name is..." Before she could finish, Lin Weixia immediately said 2 words. Seeing that she knew her name, Fang Mo got excited. "Wow, you actually know my name. I'm so happy." Lin Weixia asked seriously, "Why did those people say I'm F-class just now?" Fang Mo explained carefully. "It's because of the color of the bow. A-class is red, and we F-class have gray ones." Lin Weixia glanced at the bow color. "So what's the difference between the two?" A-class students generally come from good families, have better study conditions, and excel from a young age. F-class is more complex, either with poor grades, ordinary family backgrounds, or transferred from other schools. As she spoke, she couldn't help but sigh. The high and mighty A-class students have always looked down on F-class. They don't even bother talking to F-class students. We're born into different social classes. We just happen to be in the same school. It's better to avoid them usually. Suddenly, Lu Sijia called out from behind. She ran over and hugged her arm, saying with a grin, "I've been looking for you for so long. Come on, let's go to the cafeteria together." A moment later, they arrived at the school cafeteria. Lu Sijia took out several lunch boxes and opened them on the table. There were thick-cut veal steaks, braised pork ribs, and a small portion of okra. The colors were bright, and the food looked delicate and thoughtful. Seeing that she hadn't started eating, Lu Sijia said, "These are all made by my family's housekeeper. She's a good cook. Or if you have anything you want to eat, just tell me." Lin Weixia said thank you and handed her a cup of milk tea. "This one is sugar-free. It should suit your taste. The other one has sugar." The boy next to them saw this and complimented them. "Two beautiful girls, so pleasing to the eye. But isn't that an F-class student? Why is Lu Sijia eating with an F-class?" She happily accepted it. "Thanks, Xia. I was just craving some sugar." At this time, Ban Sheng also arrived at the school cafeteria. Qiu Minghua behind him was super angry. "That damn Four Eyes is too sneaky. He scammed so much money from that lonely old lady. Bro, you should teach him a lesson. He even has the nerve to go around saying you beat him into the hospital." But Ban Sheng didn't care at all. All right, don't spread this around. Xiao Minghua looked aggrieved and frustrated. Why? Why should you take all the blame alone? Lu Xijia saw Ban Sheng coming and got very excited. She whispered, Xia, it's him. He's here to eat. Lin Weixia immediately turned her head to look. Who? Ban Sheng? He's sitting 2 seats behind you. Lu Xijia stood up and took Lin Weixia's milk tea. Xia, let me switch mine with yours. Ban Sheng likes sweet drinks. I'll go give him this half-sugar one and ask about why he stood me up. Lin Weixia nodded good-naturedly, watching her walk towards Ban Sheng's direction. Lu Xijia boldly handed over the milk tea, not knowing what to say. Lin Weixia, sitting right across from them, looked up. She saw Ban Sheng looking at his phone with raised eyebrows. The cool, rich young master actually initiated a conversation with the cold, top student girl. In fact, there were many people pursuing him, but in his heart, he only liked one person, and that was Lin Weixia. Lin Weixia and Fong Mo returned to the classroom and heard a noisy commotion. A girl said, "Can I borrow your lipstick? I need to touch up." Fong Mo whispered. No wonder they're excited. Ban Sheng is back in class. She looked up. She saw Ban Sheng leaning coolly on his chair, his broad, straight shoulders filling out his jacket. It wasn't hard to see that under the loose jacket was a sharp, sturdy frame. He was holding a lighter in his hand. A boy said, "Boss Ban, did you watch the game last night? Number 13's fadeaway jumper was amazing. I opened an ice-cold beer to celebrate." Ban Sheng gave a slight in response. At this moment, Lin Weixia passed by him. Ban Sheng's eyes glanced at Fong Mo. While handing in her Chinese homework, she gossiped, "This Ban Sheng, he's got a great family background and good grades. He even got full marks in physics. Just a bit cold personality-wise. The girls all like his type, handsome and smart. Hey, did you see that black lily tattoo on his ankle? Rumor has it that he got it for a girl he likes. Even school rules couldn't stop him." Lin Weixia was lost in thought as she listened to Fong Mo, but someone as outstanding as him probably only has eyes for A-class students, right? Suddenly, a green notebook flew over and landed softly on the desk with a plop. Lin Weixia looked up. He was standing right in front of her, hands in his pockets, meeting her gaze. "Next time, get someone else to collect homework." He was referring to Lu Xijia coming to ask for homework. Ban Sheng had such a strong presence that from the moment he appeared, he seemed to suck all the air out of the room. It was impossible to ignore him. As a result, more and more classmates around them were drawn to watch. Fong Mo's heart raced as she gossiped. "Wow, Ban Sheng talked to you and you didn't respond? And what did he mean by bad person?" Lin Weixia lowered her head and put away the green homework notebook. "It's nothing." She paused, then added, "His tone was just like when Fong Hua threatened me that night. He's really awful." Half an hour later, the broadcast announced for students to gather on the playground. It was for the new semester's motivational meeting. The student council would conduct surprise inspections of each class's appearance. Students quickly left the classroom, and the stairwell became noisy. Fong Mo turned back to look at her, eyes wide. "Weixia, where's your name tag?" Lin Weixia looked down at her chest while turning back. Her heart jumped. "Where's my name tag?" She waved at Fong Mo. "You go to the playground first. I'll go back and look for it." Lin Weixia ran back to the corridor, looking down as she searched. But she couldn't find it anywhere and was getting anxious and sweaty. She was searching intently at the third-floor corner when she suddenly glimpsed a black shadow. Her eyelashes fluttered as she looked up from the shoes, following the soft fabric of trousers wrapping long legs. It was Ban Sheng, also in the school uniform, but exuding a rebellious aura. Ban Sheng looked at her and held out his hand. "Looking for your name tag?" Lin Weixia sighed in relief, taking the name tag. "Thank you for finding my name tag." Ban Sheng took 2 steps forward. At this moment, the corridor was bathed in sunlight. Ban Sheng lowered his head and chuckled. "I didn't find this. It's new." Lin Weixia's voice dropped. She was stunned for a moment. "Bon Xing Schmiedkid." He held up 3 fingers. "Remember to pay. 12 yuan. Then he straightened up and put his hands back in his pockets. He brushed past her without looking back. Lin Weixia couldn't understand why he would come back to help her. She was a top student girl. Lin Weixia's sincerity earned her a powerful girlfriend. And the rich young master Ban Sheng changed all his preferences for the girl he liked. All the students gathered on the playground. Fong Mo looked at her carefully. "Weixia, did you find your name tag? The student council is coming to inspect. You can't leave your hair down." Just as she said this, a sharp and loud voice came from right in front of them. Lin Weixia looked up and saw 3 student council members approaching. Li Xingran had an arrogant expression. He commanded imperiously, Don't you know the school rules? You have 1 minute to tie up your hair. Lin Weixiao replied calmly, I'm sorry, it's not convenient. I've already explained my situation to the teacher before entering school. He didn't expect Lin Weixiao to refuse. Crossing his arms haughtily, he said, Oh, so F class is getting bold now, huh? Even the student council can't control you? He said, slowly moving closer with contempt. Or is it that you're so poor that you need me to sponsor you a hair tie? Everyone laughed. Such a thick-skinned, poor person. The outstanding representative of F class. Lin Weixiao emphasized again. I said I've already reported to the teacher. You can go ask. Li Shengran couldn't stand it anymore. Extremely angry, he got closer. With that height, you should follow the rules for that height. You must tie up your hair. He suddenly raised his hand. Just as he was about to grab Lin Weixiao's hair, his hand was suddenly intercepted. Li Shengran forcefully shook off the hand. Who's meddling in this? He was very surprised when he saw it was Lu Sijia. How could he be helping a poor girl? Lu Sijia looked at him, his voice not loud, but carrying an intimidating effect. Shengran, that's enough. Don't use your position as an excuse for your personal actions. Li Shengran couldn't let it go. Lu Sijia, what's your relationship with her? Why are you speaking up for her? Lu Sijia narrowed his eyes, remembering the typhoon weekend and feeling Lin Weixiao's attentive care. He protected her behind him and said seriously, she's my friend. Li Shengran left indignantly. Just an F-class student. What's so great about that? Others also thought this new F-class student had a lot of face. Lu Sijia being friends with an F-class student was really lowering himself. Lin Weixiao glanced at him, feeling happy inside. She finally had a friend. Afterwards, they returned to their ranks. Lu Sijia stood next to Lin Weixiao. A group of boys standing in the back row were bored and paying attention to the girl's every move. A companion whispered, Brother Zhao really has good taste in girls. Lu Sijia is beautiful and righteous. It'd be face-giving to take her out. Someone responded, but that new transfer student is quite special too. Although she's an F-class student, her aura is no less than Queen Lu's. Lin Weixiao stood next to Lu Sijia, quite tall, with long, soft black hair reaching her waist. She wore a tall uniform, with straight, fair legs under the plaid skirt. What they said wasn't wrong, because even Zheng Zhaoxing was stunned. His tone carried a hint of contempt. F-class is good. Hanging out with a bunch of poor people, you can win them over with just some expensive gifts. That transfer student's legs are indeed white and straight. It must feel good to touch them. Suddenly, someone patted his shoulder. A cold voice called out, Zheng Zhaoxing. He was startled instantly. Ban Sheng slightly raised his chin, his eyes precisely on him. I have something to discuss with you. Let's talk somewhere else. Another day, Ban Sheng's follower passed through the corridor and heard a group of girls saying, Yesterday afternoon, Ban Sheng and Zheng Zhaoxing fought because he offended Lu Sijia. Ban Sheng usually looks down on everyone. Turns out he likes Lu Sijia. A perfect match, not surprising. I saw them together outside school the day before yesterday. He quickly rushed into the classroom. Panting, he ran to Ban Sheng. He whispered, They say you fought Zheng Zhaoxing for Lu Sijia. Is it true? Ban Sheng's face looked very unpleasant. He coldly stared at him. Without saying a word, he casually opened a bottle of drink. Qiu Minghua, seeing this, immediately waved his hand. All right, I won't ask anymore. He looked down for 3 seconds and was instantly shocked. 98. Only 2 points deducted on the entire test paper for presentation. Lin Weixiao suddenly looked up, watching the two of them. Listening attentively, Qiu Minghua asked if there was any secret. Teach us. Ban Sheng tossed him a bottle of milk. Tell him to drink more milk. He was speechless. Damn, how can this person say such a perfunctory, can't be more perfunctory thing in such a serious tone? Lin Weixiao chuckled softly. She decided to stop listening to them and refocused on the test paper in front of her. The high school exam was a bit harder than expected. Ban Sheng's high score proved that he was indeed smart. Ban Sheng poured the drink into a small cup. Qiu Minghua looked up and saw it. You bought soda to mix with salt water? I thought you didn't like salty drinks. Bonshing geschlipskurd. I've started to like it recently. He then picked up the cup, ready to drink. Lin Weixiao was drawing a friction force analysis diagram. Her pen tip suddenly deviated, and the straight line became crooked. The rich young master secretly helping the girl he likes. trying every means to gain the aloof top student girl's favor. During break, Lu Xijia and Lin Weixiao were resting by the railing. His gaze moved to the nameplate on Lin Weixiao's left chest. Remembering something, he asked, Xia, where did you find your nameplate in the end? Lin Weixiao touched her nameplate. I didn't find it. Ban Sheng sold me a new one. I don't know how he managed it. Lu Xijiao's expression became complex for a moment, but quickly returned to normal. If it's him, then it's not surprising. Ban Sheng is very shrewd. He's been doing business and making money for a long time. He even had a hand in designing the high school's uniform badges. At the mention of Ban Sheng, Lu Xijiao's proud face softened, automatically showing an expression of admiration. But his family is so rich, he's definitely not doing this for money. Seeing this, Lin Weixiao joked, the more mysterious, the more fascinating, right? I heard that yesterday he did something for Lu Xijia. She immediately covered her mouth, a barely noticeable blush appearing on her face. Don't talk nonsense. She paused for a few seconds, then started speaking. Actually, I've liked Ban Sheng for a long time. Ban Sheng is different from other boys. He likes astrophysics. He once went to the Northwest Astronomical Observatory alone to observe stars. He stayed for 2 months just to find one star. He also likes swimming. He's been to many places and seen all kinds of seas. But I can't even understand star coordinates. I'd choke to death in water. His knowledge, his ideas, I feel like I can never catch up. Lin Weixiao held Lu Xijia's hand. Xijia, I'm not very good at comforting people. Don't force yourself. She squeezed her hand back, her eyes full of hope and desire. Xia, can you help me pursue him? 2 days later, Lin Weixiao and Fang Yimou came to the water dispenser to get water. As they were about to leave, they ran into 2 girls who were close to Li Xingran. Li Xingran's birthday is this week. His family is having a party. You can come. Lin Weixiao's tone was gentle, but she directly refused. I'm sorry, I have other plans for the weekend. The girls were displeased upon hearing this and turned to leave. Fang Mo's tone was cheerful, but mixed with a bit of worry. They never used to invite F-class students to play before. It would be great if you went. Besides, it's not good to be on bad terms with Li Xingran. She smiled. My family runs a fruit shop. I have to help at the store on weekends. Lin Weixiao suddenly thought of something and frowned. So using neckties to divide people into classes was Ban Sheng's idea? Didn't anyone object? Fang Yimou scratched his head. I don't know about that. I heard some F-class students raised objections, but they were rejected by the A-class department head. They said it's a school tradition. Class time had arrived, and they quickly rushed back. Lu Xijia glanced back. Lin Weixiao mouthed for her to check her phone. She quietly took out her phone and looked at it under the desk. Li Xingran invited you to the party too, right? He invited me as well. I guess someone pressured him to make peace. But I agreed. Li Xingran's brother is good friends with Ban Sheng. Ban Sheng will be there too. Lin Weixiao frowned. She initially wanted to type a refusal, but then remembered she had promised Lu Xijia to help her pursue him. Ban Sheng deleted the refusal she was about to type. She replied with a simple okay. Suddenly, Ban Sheng threw a book backwards. Lin Weixiao opened it. She saw the 12 yuan she owed him, along with a note. On it was Lin Weixiao's cold but polite thank you. After thank you, on a new line, was a string of clear and forceful handwriting. Don't accept cash. Followed by a series of letters and numbers. It was Ban Sheng's WeChat ID. Lin Weixiao looked over, holding the note. Ban Sheng was sitting gracefully. His long, pale neck and the bumps of his spine moved as he acted like nothing had happened. Lin Weixiao took out her phone again, searched the ID on the note, and clicked to add. She found his nickname was Ban. Was it the pinyin of his name, or the English word meaning prohibit? In less than 2 seconds, Ban Sheng accepted her friend request. The cool, world-weary rich young master, creating opportunities to be alone with the aloof top student girl. They accidentally bumped into each other, their skin touching more intimately. Lin Weixiao sat on the bed, purposely opening her phone. She checked if Ban Sheng had collected the 12 yuan she transferred. She had transferred it to him in the afternoon. Why hadn't he accepted it yet? Lin Weixiao decided to ask him tomorrow. Just as she was about to sleep, her phone vibrated. She poked her head out and immediately grabbed her phone. Her roommate Xijia had messaged, asking Lin Weixiao to help choose an outfit for Li Xingran's birthday party on the weekend. Lin Weixiao helped her pick a black, fitted waist dress. As they were chatting casually, a new message notification appeared. She opened it. Ban Sheng had sent the address location and a reminder not to get lost. She put down her phone and quickly ducked under the covers. How did Ban Sheng know she was going? And he had seen the transfer, but didn't accept it. Whatever. Lin Weixiao wasn't interested in knowing more. On Sunday evening, Lin Weixiao arrived at the foot of the mountain carrying a potted cactus. She texted Lu Sijia, "I'm terrible with directions. Can you come pick me up?" Suddenly, a car stopped. Lin Weixia ended up getting into Ban Sheng's private car. She kept looking out the window to ease the awkwardness. The driver quietly reminded the young master that this mountain road had many turns, so they should sit tight. Suddenly, there was a sharp turn. Despite her efforts to maintain balance, she lost control and fell towards him. Lin Weixiao practically fell onto him, her forehead hitting his chin, her porcelain-like arm brushing against his clothes. On another firm forearm, Sakin Taoqing Sakin, blood vessels pulsing beneath the surface. Lin Weixia's heart pounded, her face slightly flushed. As their eyes met, a faint fragrance filled the air. It felt like an electric current with a tingling sensation where they touched. The young master from a wealthy family finally received a gift from the girl he liked. Lin Weixiao had practically fallen onto him, and Ban Sheng's hand was pricked by the cactus. He immediately apologized, quickly taking out a Band-Aid and handing it to him. Ban Sheng leaned back in the car seat, biting the Band-Aid at an angle. He tore it open with his other hand, awkwardly sticking it on the wound. Lin Weixiao asked embarrassedly, "Weren't you already there? Someone posted photos of the party in the class group. I saw you in them." Ban Sheng stared blankly. He lazily replied, "Went out to buy something for Li Xingran's brother. Also checking if anyone got lost." Lin Weixiao turned her face away, embarrassed. That evening at the villa, Ban Sheng quickly took the things, saying, "Uncle Chen, your back isn't good. Let me take the box." He was sweating. "Young master, I can make a few trips." Lin Weixiao came over. "I'll help you." Uncle Chun shook his head. "No need." Ban Sheng blocked her view, casually handing her a balloon. "Just take this. You don't need to do anything. I'll handle it," he said, carrying the box away. Lin Weixiao watched his back. He was quite considerate. Ban Sheng glanced at the cactus in her arms, raising an eyebrow. "A birthday gift for Li Xingran?" Lin Weixiao nodded. She didn't have many presentable gifts. This cactus was a plant she had cared for a long time. It was something she cherished, so she wanted to give it as a gift, just as she thought Ban Sheng would mock her gift. The next second, Ban Sheng came closer, suddenly snatching the cactus from her, his tone playful. "It pricked my hand, so it wants to come with me." Then he pulled out a red gift box from the trunk, handing it to her, still looking nonchalant. "Give this to Li Xingran instead. It's that celebrity-signed photo he wanted before." Lin Weixiao pursed her lips. "If you want to give it, do it yourself. No need to use me. Besides, I've cared for this cactus for a long time." Li Xingran is allergic to cacti. Hearing this, he understood. He made a sound of acknowledgement. He had thought she looked down on his gift. Had he misunderstood? As they walked in together, people started whispering. In just a few days, she's hooked up with Ban Sheng again. Yeah, her intention to climb the social ladder is too obvious. Lu Sijiao walked over, holding her hand and apologizing. "Weixiao, I just saw your message. I should have picked you up earlier." Then she looked at Ban Sheng. "Thank you for bringing her up." Ban Sheng smiled slightly, then handed the box to the staff. Lin Weixiao said, "It's fine." Then she handed Li Xingran a birthday gift. If not for Lu Sijia, who would want to invite her, the gift from Lin might be something cheap. Opening it, he exclaimed loudly, his face brightening. "How did you know I like him? My idol's rare autograph. Where did you get it?" Others commented, "Unexpectedly, he's quite good at giving gifts. Must have some connections and networks. No wonder Lu Sijia hangs out with him." Lin Weixiao looked at Ban Sheng, about to speak. Li Xingran pushed him in. All right, come in and have some snacks." Ban Sheng was also pushed in by someone. Ban Sheng smiled, glancing at Lin Weixiao. He popped a candy into his mouth. Dealing with people in this circle, besides being vigilant, there were other ways. But he was still the same as before, which was enough. The beautiful and gentle top student, noticed by others. The proud young master from a wealthy family was the first to object. "Dare to touch her and see what happens." A guy whistled. He asked Ban Sheng, "That girl sitting on the U-shaped sofa looks nice. Who is she?" Everyone's gaze followed his gesture. Lin Weixiao was sitting on the U-shaped sofa. She wore a basic short shirt. Sitting straight, her blue high-waisted jeans looked loose. She was sitting there playing with a puzzle. The guy smirked. "It's lonely being alone. Why not invite her to join us? If Ban doesn't mind, why should we?" Ban Sheng's face darkened. His voice turned cold, warning them, "Looking for trouble?" The other guy was stunned. The group laughed. Okay. If she's Ban's girl, we won't ask anymore." Lu Sijia stood behind, overhearing the conversation. Something in her heart plummeted. She lost the desire to go talk to him. Instead, she fled downstairs. Why did Bansheng care so much? Lin Weixia called out loudly. Xia Xia sat down next to her, handing her juice. I've been thinking, starting tomorrow, I'll deliver milk to Bansheng every morning. Lin Weixia reminded her. He likes Qingwang brand sweet milk. She was taken aback by this. Instinctively wary, she asked, how do you know that? Li Weixia took a sip of juice. Bansheng's habit of drinking milk every day is well known at school. Plus, I sit right behind him. She finally relaxed. It made sense. Hopefully, she was overthinking. Suddenly, hearing a commotion, she looked up. On the second-floor balcony, several boys surrounded a frail-looking girl who appeared terrified. Zheng Zhao held a coconut, smiling as he reached out. Why are you hiding? Let us try some cookies too. Under the intimidating gaze of the boys, the frail girl lowered her head, visibly frightened. A boy behind her kicked her hard. Zhao's talking to you. Why the hell are you hesitating? The girl stumbled forward from the impact, about to crash into Zheng Zhao. He dodged to the side. The girl fell face first onto the ground. The group burst into laughter, their voices harsh. Look how pitiful she is. Can't even stand steady. Lin Weixia, seeing this scene, quickly walked over. The arrogant young master from a wealthy family had actually learned to tease the girl he liked. The atmosphere was truly intense. Zheng Zhao reached out, constantly poking her with one finger, mocking, let me ask you, when you made these cookies, did your skin flakes fall into them too? Another boy laughed loudly. Bro, stop it. You're grossing me out. Lin Weixia wanted to step forward but was pulled back by Bansheng. To prevent him from moving, Bansheng pressed down on him, stopping him from slipping away. Lin Weixia felt tormented, constantly struggling. Can't you see they're bullying her? Bansheng cautioned him. If you go out now, you'll only provoke them. He didn't care at all. So what? He forcefully broke free from his hold, only to be pinned down again by Bansheng. He tore off the band-aid from his finger. Exposing the wound, he said, cactus thorns are stuck in there. I can't get them out. Lin Weixia was distracted, feeling he was being unreasonable. Bansheng met his dark eyes, emphasizing again, help me now, and I'll let you go over there. Lin Weixia looked down at his finger. He had caused it, so he should indeed be responsible. He had to compromise, quickly remove the thorns, then he could go help. But he also hoped Bansheng would keep his word. His cold and overly rational voice spoke up. The more you help, the worse they'll get. If you don't interfere, someone else will handle this. Lin Weixia looked at him wide-eyed, stunned for a moment. He then said word by word, watching someone being bullied without doing anything, how is that any different from the bullies? Just then, Li Xingran's clear and strong voice came from the corridor. Zheng Zhaoan, you guys are indeed here. Lin Weixia looked over. Li Xingran was very displeased. I asked my desk mate to come help. Why are you all bullying her? Lin Weixia sighed in relief. With him there, that girl should be safe. But he just happened to be here right now. Was it a coincidence? Lin Weixia prepared to leave, but he was pulled back again. Bansheng's voice was deep and magnetic. Everything's resolved now. Focus. Lin Weixia breathed heavily, his small face slightly flushed. The thorns had been removed. He glanced at the injured finger, reminding softly, the band-aid isn't on. Lin Weixia made an O sound, quickly putting the band-aid on for him. Then he turned to leave Bansheng. Suddenly he spoke. You're right. I'm not much different from those people. Lin Weixia paused upon hearing this. He smiled brightly, looking at the bandaged wound, and added, so you'll have to get used to me showing up from time to time. Hearing these words, Lin Weixia left, puffing his cheeks in anger. Li Xingran pushed the two of them away, joking, what's wrong with you guys? Go downstairs and cool off. Zheng Zhaohan smirked. Fish scale girl, you're lucky this time. Next time, I'll play something more exciting. The girl sadly picked up the cookies from the ground. While wiping her tears, she cried miserably. Lin Weixia reached out his hand to her. Don't be afraid. They're gone now. Let me take you away from here. He supported the bullied girl as they walked away. Suddenly, Li Xingran hurriedly ran over. Classmate Lin Weixia, wait a moment. Panting, he said, I'm sorry. I didn't expect those boys to be so awful. I invited you to play, and this happened. I must take responsibility. This is a small compensation. Please take it. Lin Weixia accepted it and said, thank you. It's not safe to walk at night. Li Xingran will have his driver take you home. They both cared for each other, but didn't dare express their feelings. The alley ahead is too narrow. The car can only stop here. Lin Weixia handed her the things. There's medicine from Li Xingran inside. Your palms and knees are scraped. Apply it when you get home. He wanted to walk her home, but was unexpectedly rejected by this frail girl. He could only watch as she limped into the alley, looking quite disheveled. Why did this girl avoid him? just because he was an F student? A students, F students. After all, it's just an excuse for bullies to pick on others. Since he came to Shingo, he absolutely wouldn't do nothing. Late at night, he dreamed of past events. A group of students mocking. What's this thing he's wearing? It's so weird. Is he disabled? Are you deaf? Can't you hear us talking? He collapsed on the ground, crying bitterly, begging them to stop. At that moment, a boy stood up and protected him from behind. I won't let you bully him. In the end, that boy was trampled under a group of students. But he still desperately called out, smiling. Run, Lin Weixia. He suddenly woke up, eyes wide open, breathing rapidly. He sighed. Why do I keep dreaming about the past? She put on her school uniform and placed a hearing aid on her left ear. After adjusting her hair, it perfectly covered her ears. Suddenly, her aunt came in. Xia, haven't you been feeling unwell lately? I made some herbal tea. Take it to school. She hesitated, not wanting to take it to school. But her aunt was angry. No, when you're unwell, you must drink herbal tea to cool down. This is the most effective. At school, Lu Xijia took one sip and dared not drink more. The taste was unbearably bitter. He was a bit embarrassed. So you can't drink it either? I'll ask my aunt to improve it. Lu Xijia suddenly asked, have you decided which club to join? Why not come with me to the basketball club? He leaned down, his beautiful eyes pleading. Come on, come on. Ban Sheng is also in the basketball club. You promised to help me before. Lin Weixia's lips moved, but no words came out. Her eyes remained fixed on the cello club flyer. He was very happy. Always staying in the classroom, reading isn't good. You should go out and exercise more. All right, it's happily decided then. Afterwards, he placed a bottle of milk on Ban Sheng's desk. Today's task was completed. Lin Weixia hesitated for a moment. The cello flyer was finally stuffed into the drawer. A while later, Ban Sheng arrived. Qiu Minghua and Qi Yinxian exclaimed, why is there a box on your desk? It's still your favorite orange milk. Who knows you so well? He must be from some girl, right? That's nice. I want one too. Ban Sheng glanced down at Lin Weixia. He was writing on his test paper, but heard this conversation clearly. Since that party, for a whole week, the two hadn't spoken to each other. Ban Sheng casually said, all right, I'll give it to you. Qiu Minghua refused. No, I'm afraid the girl who sent the milk will kill me. Lin Weixia looked at them, thinking, after what I said last time, he must be angry. But he's so busy, maybe he's already forgotten. But when they go to the basketball club, they'll definitely meet. What to do? The cool, top student girl Lin Weixia sends a love letter to her good friend. Unexpectedly, it was misunderstood. The proud, cool, rich young master was overjoyed after receiving the envelope. The two of them arrived at the basketball club, but couldn't even see Ban Sheng's shadow. Lu Xijia asked, do you know why Ban Sheng isn't coming to the basketball club? Ming Chao grabbed the ball and jumped to shoot. The basketball went smoothly into the hoop, hitting the floor. It made a loud bang sound. He wiped his sweat with his shirt. After hearing you came, he didn't want to come anymore. Lu Xijia switched to local dialect to curse him. You dead man, you idiot. Don't you know how to talk? A boy nearby patted his shoulder. All right, Brother Chao, stop teasing him. Then he turned to explain, Ban Sheng rarely comes to the basketball club, just a few times a semester, and he doesn't participate in group activities. Lu Xijia was dejected. He thought joining the basketball club would give him a chance to get close to him, but he couldn't even see him. Suddenly, he had an idea, holding his arm and smiling. Weixia, can you help me deliver a letter to Ban Sheng? Please. Lin Weixia hesitated for a moment, looking up at him. I'm not close to him. Lu Xijia held his small hand. Even if you're not close to Ban Sheng, you sit near him, right? You can quietly do it when handing out homework. He frowned. Why don't you give it to him yourself? Lu Xijia lacked confidence, lowering his head. I'm afraid of being rejected. Lin Weixia, it's good that you don't have someone you like. You don't have to be so anxious like me. He held his hand, talking and smiling. But when it's delivered to a certain extent, I'll confess. We'll see then. I'm the one sending him milk every day. Then he handed him a letter. I've already written it. And besides you, I don't want anyone else to know. Please, Xia. I'll treat you to ice cream this weekend. Lin Weixia sighed. He could only try. In the afternoon, he found the classroom empty and prepared to put the envelope on Ban Sheng's desk. A gust of wind blew in from the window, messing up the desks a bit. Just as he reached out to place it, the wind blew it away. Lin Weixia stood there stunned for a moment, then reacted the next second. He immediately chased after it, just bending down to pick it up, but Ban Sheng, who had returned, picked it up instead. Ban Sheng looked at the pink envelope in front of him. A bit excited, he tentatively asked, "Is this letter for me?" Lin Weixia didn't answer and walked forward. At this moment, Ban Sheng grabbed his wrist. He asked seriously, "Are you asking me out?" Lin Weixia once again didn't answer him. Taking her silence as consent, he directly opened the envelope and looked. Smiling, he said to her, "Okay, I'll go the day after tomorrow afternoon." He misunderstood. Lin Weixia inexplicably felt hot and broke out in a light sweat. She looked up and met his gaze. Just as she was about to explain, several people came in, complaining about the heat. One boy even greeted Ban Sheng. "Brother Ban, you're here too?" Lin Weixia was mortified. She turned and walked out. She thought to herself, "It's okay. The process doesn't matter. Anyway, the result is he'll go to the appointment." The handsome, cool, world-weary, rich young Master Ban Sheng. Because of losing his virginity, he became the talk of the school forum, while the cold, top student girl Lin Weixia thought of her previous painful past. Today was the day of the appointment. After school, Lin Weixia, wearing her school uniform and carrying her backpack, walked out of the school gate. While waiting for the bus, she felt inexplicably uneasy. Ban Sheng had agreed before. Surely he wouldn't stand her up again this time? After a bus left, Lin Weixia looked up and saw Lu Sijia and Ban Sheng together. They were particularly intimate. He was wearing a crisp school uniform, tall and slim. Maybe because they were out of school, a few buttons on his collar were undone, revealing a smooth throat. He was casually looking at his phone. Beside him, Lu Sijia said something to him. "Bon chien gnodid." Then, Lu Sijia's face blossomed into a bright smile. Lu Sijia saw Lin Weixia outside the crowd and excitedly waved at her. Lin Weixia smiled back. Then she gripped her backpack strapped tightly and left in a hurry, feeling as if she had deliberately done something wrong and was afraid of being discovered. Ban Sheng saw her leave, and his face became very cold. But Lu Sijia thought she hadn't heard. Lin Weixia quickly adjusted her mood. Ban Sheng had misunderstood on his own. She was just helping deliver a letter. Suddenly, her phone in her pocket rang a few times. She opened it to see messages from Lu Sijia. "Xia, Ban Sheng asked me out this weekend. I can't treat you to ice cream. I'll definitely make it up to you another day." She looked up and glanced over there. She saw Ban Sheng and Lu Sijia get on the same bus. Lin Weixia forced a smile and typed a reply, "It's okay. Have fun." In the evening, Lin Weixia helped at her aunt's fruit shop. In her remaining time, she looked at the computer for a while. The data on the YCH website was a bit dismal. The post count in the gossip and comment sections was still 0. Was it because it was newly established? Suddenly, her phone beside her vibrated. She opened it to see it was a message from Fang Mo. "Weixia, have you seen the school forum? It's exploded. Here's a Weibo link." Lin Weixia clicked the link and logged in as a guest. An ID named Colorful Black posted a photo. The text was blurry. It was a photo of a blue swimming pool. A boy was being pressed against the edge of the pool underwater, resting. In the comments, thumbs pressed on the screen, scrolling down. "This is Ban Xingjia, right? My house is right in that area." "Ah, Sijia, you went to Ban Xingjia's place." "Awesome, Lu Sijia. I remember Ban Xing never lets anyone in his swimming pool. Get together quickly. No one could be a better match than you two." Lin Weixia clicked to enlarge the image. Ban Sheng was leaning by the pool, soaking wet, but his features were still exquisite, revealing an enviable physique. Fang Mo sent a voice message. "Ban Sheng is so handsome." And finally we see him swimming again. "I thought after that incident he wouldn't." People sometimes have an innate intuition. Lin Weixia's eyelids twitched heavily. She thought of the boy who saved her before. It also happened by the pool. The bullies gripped his clothes tightly. "Liang, aren't you always showing off? Why are you so weak like a girl now?" Lin Weixia asked seriously again. "What incident are you talking about?" Fang Mo finally replied, "Nothing. Maybe I remembered wrong." The rich young Master Ban Sheng from Jinao was rumored to be with a female student. The cold top student Lin Weixia was shocked to hear this. In an accidental process, she inadvertently drew a small heart on his school uniform. As soon as Lin Weixia arrived in the classroom and sat down, Lu Sijia sat opposite her. Trying to keep her tone steady, she said, "I was wrong. Weixia, I'm really sorry." To show her apology, "I have a gift for you." The The next second, she pulled out a bag from her drawer. This bag is very popular recently. I think the style suits you too. Lin Weixiao pushed it away. No, this is too expensive. How can I accept it? With an eye, she said, I specially bought the best friend style. It's perfect for us to have one each. If you don't carry it with me, how pitiful will I be carrying it alone? Lin Weixiao's eyelashes fluttered. Her tone serious. Okay, thank you for the gift. I'll use it well. She was seriously doing her homework while Lu Xijia watched. Suddenly thinking of something, her eyes lit up with excitement. She whispered, actually, I went to Ban Sheng's house on the weekend. We gotten closer. She looked up and smiled. Is it going well then? Looks like Cupid's arrow has struck you both. Lu Xijia immediately stood up. Oh, you're laughing again? She reached out her hands to tickle her. Lin Weixiao was very ticklish and couldn't help but giggle uncontrollably. Facing Lu Xijia's advancing steps, she had to surrender and then ran away. As she turned, she bumped into someone's arms. She was about to say sorry when she turned her head and saw it was Ban Sheng. She was stunned. The pen in her hand accidentally poked Ban Sheng's chest. She realized it and immediately withdrew her hand, saying sorry. She stood in front of Lin Weixiao, blocking Ban Sheng's view. Good morning, Ban Sheng. Weixia didn't mean it just now. Don't blame her. Ban Sheng looked down at Lu Xijia. Come out with me for a moment. Class time arrived. Fong Mo called out in the smallest voice. Weixia pointed outside with her finger. Quick look. Lu Xijia and Ban Sheng are still talking in the corridor. They're like filming an idol drama. It's so pleasing to the eye. Only then did Lin Weixiao look outside. The two of them stood together in the corridor outside, looking a bit intimate. Don't know what Ban Sheng said that made Lu Xijia laugh so happily. It was indeed pleasing to the eye. Only when class ended did they walk back to the classroom one after another. The classroom chatter grew louder, with ambiguous glances thrown their way. Wow, the little lovebirds are finally back. You skipped an entire class. How was your romantic exchange? Lu Xijia couldn't stop smiling. Stop it, don't talk nonsense. These days, their rumors were spreading like wildfire. Ban Sheng seemed to have never spoken up about it. Was he not caring about others' opinions? Or was he feeling annoyed when in danger? Why think about these things? It's not my business anyway. Qiu Minghua turned his head, looking shocked. Yo, young Master Ban, what's that on your uniform? Who dares to be so bold as to draw a heart on you? Ban Sheng heard this and glanced down. It did look like a rough heart. Lin Weixiao's heart tightened, nearly crushing the pen she was holding. It was accidentally drawn when they bumped into each other earlier. Ban Sheng leaned back, snorting a laugh. Recklessness should have its limits. It seems the proud young Master Ban Sheng was actually jealous. Seeing the girl he liked playing and joking around with her male deskmate, he inexplicably felt very unhappy. Suddenly, a long arm reached over towards his ear. The smooth black hair directly swiped his earphones. What are you listening to so intently? Let me hear too. Ming Chao listened for less than 3 seconds and discovered there was no song in the earphones. Wow, deskmate, so your earphones are used as earplugs, but they don't even block sound. Lin Weixiao reached out to grab them. Ming Chao, give me back my earphones. Seeing her action, he laughed. There's no sound in them. Why are you so nervous? Ban Sheng was reading a book and found their playful sounds very annoying. He couldn't help but purse his lips in frustration. It's so noisy. This class was PE. Lu Xijia felt hot and tired. Having outdoor PE in this weather is simply unreasonable. Lin Weixiao pointed over there. How about you wait for me, Xijia? I'll go buy some ice. Lu Xijia beamed with joy. Weixiao, you're so thoughtful. She ran to the cold drink store and bought 2 cups of salted lemon soda. When she returned excitedly, she found Lu Xijia was with Ban Sheng. They were chatting and laughing. Ban Sheng, why do you like preserved plum candy so much? Is it that delicious? He responded with a non-committal, do you want me to accompany you to buy some? Ban Sheng glanced at Lin Weixiao, then readily agreed. Okay. Lin Weixiao frowned slightly. Why did hearing him agree make her feel so uncomfortable? Lu Xijia made a gesture. So the Weixia. Ban Sheng came to find me on his own. Then she left with Ban Sheng, smiling brightly. Lin Weixiao wondered if Ban Sheng was getting revenge on her, but she didn't know if Ban Sheng was doing it on purpose. Whenever she was with Lu Xijia, he would make Lu Xijia go to him, leaving her alone. At first, Lin Weixiao thought it was a coincidence, but as it happened more often, she began to feel Ban Sheng was doing it intentionally. At this moment, Ning Chao appeared and greeted her. Deskmate, why are you daydreaming alone? He shook his head. Nothing. Noticing Ning Chao, besides wearing the school uniform, he wore pink t-shirts, never repeating. He asked, every time I see you, you're wearing pink. Do you like it that much? Ming Chao hummed in agreement. You noticed. Pink is your deskmate's lucky color. Wearing it makes me invincible. As he was talking, he spotted Lin Weixia holding 2 cups of salted lemon soda. He reached over to grab one from her hand. Salted lemon soda. I'm thirsty after playing basketball. Thanks. Lin Weixia instinctively stood on tiptoes to grab the drink Ning Chao was holding up high, but he kept switching it between his left and right hands. They quickly started horsing around. Their posture was somewhat intimate. Ning Chao was a head taller than her, his arm occasionally touching her shoulder. Lin Weixia was both amused and annoyed by his actions. Bansheng saw Lin Weixia playing around with Ning Chao again. He felt inexplicably upset, his eyes darkening instantly. With a crunch, he bit down on the candy in his mouth and swallowed it whole. Why could Lin Weixia talk normally with others, play and joke around, but always avoid him at all costs? Lu Xijia noticed something was off and asked, what's wrong? He only left a sentence, not feeling well. I'm leaving first. The situation took a sudden turn. Lu Xijia didn't know why, but Bansheng's mood had suddenly dropped. He left after saying just one sentence. What was this about? She felt sour inside. He had left Weixia to accompany him to buy candy, but then he just walked away. It had been a week. Lin Weixia looked at Lu Xijia's seat. She hadn't come to class today either. Rumors spread in school that Bansheng had stood up Lu Xijia on their weekend date. The news spread like wildfire. Some said Lu Xijia had been dumped, that Bansheng had another love interest, that he was with an older female student. What confirmed these rumors was that Lu Xijia hadn't come to school for the new week. She had been on leave the whole time. Lin Weixia was very worried. She picked up her phone and sent a message. Xijia, why didn't you come to class today? Are you feeling unwell? Xijia, are you okay? Remember to reply when you see this. Xijia, if you need to talk, I'm always here. Seeing no reply for a long time, she grew even more worried. She hurriedly called, but there was no answer. The call was hung up. At least the phone wasn't off. She probably hadn't done anything dangerous. But given Xijia's personality, she must be feeling very upset about Bansheng treating her like this. She had even sent the letter earlier. Lin Weixia decided to go find Bansheng and get to the bottom of this. The rich young master Bansheng and the gentle top student Lin Weixia had a competitive game of basketball. As the distance between them closed, she noticed a mole under the young man's eye. Lin Weixia went to the basketball court. From afar, she could hear the sound of the ball hitting the floor. Bansheng was wearing a white jersey, dribbling the ball. Li Yiran was still commenting on Bansheng's skills. Not bad, Sheng. Want your senior to teach you a move or two? Bansheng looked at him arrogantly. He leapt past him. No thanks with your lousy skills. You're not qualified to teach me. His fingers with clear knuckles firmly gripped the ball. He jumped up to shoot, arms straight. The ball made a parabolic arc and fell into the basket. Lin Weixia stood there watching for a few minutes, then suddenly spoke. Bansheng, I need to talk to you. Bansheng turned around, his gaze quickly sweeping over her. He picked up the ball and walked past her, preparing to leave. He only replied with one sentence. I'm busy now. Lin Weixia's breathing quickened slightly. She emphasized 5 minutes. I only need 5 minutes. Li Yiran teased. This is the prettiest girl who's come looking for you. Give the little beauty a chance. As they left, only the two of them remained on the court. Bansheng looked at her, suddenly throwing the ball in his hand into Lin Weixia's arms. He said slowly, get past me once, and I'll give you those 5 minutes. Lin Weixia instinctively caught the ball. After thinking for a moment, she nodded. All right, it's a deal. She didn't know how to play basketball. She only joined the basketball club because Lu Xijia dragged her in. Her athletic ability was average, but now she had no choice but to go for it. Lin Weixia bounced the basketball once and started dribbling. Bansheng stood in front of her. Lin Weixia carried the ball. Bansheng didn't even need to jump. Taking advantage of his height, being a head taller than her, he easily blocked her ball with one long arm. He threw the ball back to her again. He advised, Lin Weixia, you can't win against me. Don't waste your time. She definitely couldn't win by brute force. Lin Weixia thought of a plan. Using feints might give her a chance. She held the basketball in front of him. Feinting, she tried to change direction and shoot when he wasn't prepared. But Bansheng didn't fall for her tricks, catching Lin Weixiao's ball again. No matter how Lin Weixiao tried to shoot, Ban Sheng could predict her next move. Yet he remained incredibly casual, with an attitude of "I'll play along, do whatever you want." 20 minutes later, Lin Weixiao's forehead was covered in a thin layer of sweat. Her fair cheeks were flushed, either from anger or exertion. Ban Sheng raised an eyebrow. "Do you still want to continue?" Lin Weixiao picked up the ball again. She had to take a gamble. The next second, she rushed straight at him, almost pressing against his chest. Ban Sheng was looking down. A pure face crashed into his dark pupils. The distance between them closed infinitely. Ban Sheng smelled a fruity scent from her hair. His Adam's apple bobbed, feeling a momentary itch. Lin Weixiao looked at him, her eyes focused as if he was the only person in them. She spoke slowly but seriously. "So you have a mole under your eye. Usually almost no one notices it, but she did." Ban Sheng was stunned for a moment, quickly covering it with his hand. Lin Weixiao seized the opportunity, turning sideways and throwing the ball hard. The basketball grazed the rim, slowly spinning around before falling in. Lin Weixiao let out a small sigh of relief, her eyes clearing. "I won." Ban Sheng glanced at her. Lin Weixiao was wiping her sweat, panting. He smiled slightly. He had actually agreed to be gentle. The gentle top student Lin Weixiao, in order to cheer up her best friend, actually took the initiative to find the cold, rich young master Ban Sheng, and even agreed to give him a favor. Lin Weixiao explained, "On the day I delivered the letter, I was going to explain, but suddenly many people came into the classroom. I didn't have time, so you misunderstood. I'm sorry, but as his friend, I don't want to see him hurt. So I was hoping you could explain to him about the missed appointment." Ban Sheng lowered his head, suppressing some emotion that was about to surface. "What's in it for me if I do?" Lin Weixiao was stunned. She pressed her lips together, no longer speaking. She left with one last sentence. "Figure it out yourself." Ban Sheng slowly straightened up, staring at her back. After several seconds, he smiled slightly. That night, as Lin Weixiao was preparing for bed, her phone suddenly rang. She opened it to see a message from Lu Sijia. "See, Bashia, I made you worry. The weather turned cold these days, and I caught a bad cold. Plus, with Ban Sheng standing me up, I wasn't in a good mood, so I didn't go to school or reply to you. Also, I didn't actually go to his house that day. I just happened to pass by and secretly took a photo of him swimming. I posted it on Weibo. I did this not only out of vanity, but also to use rumors to stake my claim. But the funny thing is he doesn't care what I do at all." Lin Weixiao was typing quickly. Sijia. "No one is more important than yourself. You don't need to do this for him." Just as she was about to send it, Lu Sijia sent another long voice message. "He stood me up and keeps finding ways to reject me. I've never been so humiliated in my life. But he messaged me this afternoon. He apologized and told me not to focus on him. But Weixia, I won't give up. I like him. I must have him." Lin Weixia sighed. "Okay, when are you coming to class?" Lu Sijia replied with 2 words. "Tomorrow." The next day, in the morning, Lu Sijia sat in her seat. Many girls surrounded her. "Sijia, you were sick? Why didn't you tell us? We were so worried." Lin Weixiao walked in and saw that Lu Sijia had really come. A girl whispered, "You don't know. While you were absent, there were many outrageous rumors at school." Smart as she was, Lu Sijia knew. She raised an eyebrow. Pretending to be enthusiastic, she said, "Oh, really? I haven't heard much." Then she smiled. "Anyway, thanks everyone for caring about me. I'll treat you all to dinner this weekend. You can choose the place." Ning Chao came over, muttering, "A few days ago, it was these people who were bad-mouthing Miss Lu the most. Now they're back to sucking up. So fake." His gaze swept over Lin Weixiao's face. Shocked, he said, "Desk mate, what did you do last night?" She answered, "Made soup." Ning Chao's gaze moved to the thermos on the desk. The aroma was already seeping out. He asked with a grin, "Smells good. Can I have a taste?" Lin Weixia shook her head. "Don't even think about it. This is for Sijia. She's not fully recovered yet." Ning Chao hummed a tune. "Miss Lu is very picky. It's a waste to give it to her. Give it to me instead. I'll drink every last drop." Lin Weixia smiled and drank a bowl. "It's delicious." I drank it all up. Then she hugged the thermos and drank directly. "Xia xia, your cooking is so good. It's at a level that would make my mom ashamed. Is this treatment only for sick people?" Lin Weixiao laughed. "Anytime you want to drink, I can make it for you. Lu Sijia happily linked arms with her. It's so great to have you as a friend. Let's go, it's time for between-class exercises. She shook her head. You go first. I need to use this time to hand out the Chinese test papers. Lin Weixiao brought the test papers from the office. She glanced at the students doing between-class exercises outside. Just as she was about to enter, she heard some students discussing her. Hey, don't you think that new transfer student is quite a suck-up? You know, Lin Weixiao. She even makes soup for Lu Sijia. And she acts all pure in front of the boys, always putting on airs. She really thinks she's a goddess. Look who still uses a thermos these days. So old-fashioned. I don't like her either. Did you see the bag Sijia gave her? Probably because she felt sorry for her always carrying that shabby backpack. She gathered her courage and finally walked in. 3 classmates saw her and were startled. They didn't dare say more. They hurriedly ran out. For her, it was enough that Sijia could come back to class normally. It didn't matter what others said. And she should also return what she promised to Banxing soon. Lin Weixiao found the WeChat contact named Ben in her list. She sent a message. What benefit do you want? The arrogant rich young master Banxing saw the gentle top student Lin Weixiao tutoring her deskmate. He immediately became jealous and demanded, spend a day with me this weekend. There were big changes in rankings for this midterm exam. The teacher emphasized that students should promptly review and fill in gaps, reminding them that exams are not the goal, just a means. For ordinary students, exams are just a periodic summary of learning outcomes. But for top students, it's a moment where they could drop to F grade if they don't work hard. Banxing still firmly held the first place in the grade. Except for his low Chinese score, he got excellent results in other subjects. Especially in physics, the teacher wanted to frame his physics score and problem-solving approach and hang it in the center for classmates to study and learn from. Qiu Minghua joked, "Teacher, our Ban is still breathing, you know." Banxing could hardly bear it, his face full of resentment. He discreetly kicked the chair in front of him. Qiu Minghua's chair shook, and he fell to the ground with a thud. The whole class burst into laughter. The teacher on the podium laughed and directly called out, "Qiu Minghua, you haven't said yet, how did you do the physics multiple choice questions? You didn't even guess one right." He picked up Lin Weixiao's paper, very pleased. Lin Weixiao's results are also very good. She got second place this time, with a perfect score in the Chinese essay. The students below whispered, "A perfect score in the essay? Could it be plagiarized? It's just one exam." She's a transfer student. Her previous exam scores were all 0. An F is still an F. Fangamo gave her a thumbs up. "Weixiao, you're amazing. Worthy of being the Chinese class representative." She calmly said, "Thank you." This time, the teacher called Lu Sijia's name. "Your ranking dropped by 6 places. You're about to fall out of the top 10. Remember to come to my office after class." In the office, the teacher looked at Lu Sijia's paper again. "How could you get this kind of question wrong with your level? Did you not read the question carefully? Look at Lin Weixiao. She's very thorough in reading comprehension. Not just Chinese, your math score has also dropped. If you're not good at geometry, you can ask Lin Weixiao. She did quite well." Lu Sijia was very dissatisfied at this moment. She complained, "Isn't it normal for scores to go up and down? And we're talking about my scores. Why keep mentioning Lin Weixiao?" The teacher got angry. "Is this how you talk to a teacher?" He frowned impatiently. "I'm just stating the facts." Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Lin Weixiao came in carrying test papers. "Teacher, these Chinese papers need to be graded urgently. They're needed for the evening's self-study session." Seeing this, the teacher sighed and waved for her to go back. As she passed by Lu Sijia, Lin Weixiao called out to her softly, but she ignored it and walked straight out. The homeroom teacher formed mutual help groups based on the students' academic performance. Ning Chao became a key support target, and this task fell to Lin Weixiao. Lin Weixiao found key problem types for Ning Chao and asked him to try them, saying he could ask if he didn't understand. Ning Chao wasn't very interested in studying and casually replied, "Don't take that mutual help group too seriously. I don't want to waste time on studying." Lu Sijia, passing by, heard this and stopped. "You indeed can't waste time on studying. After all, you have to go home and grill skewers every day after school. You'll have to inherit the family street food business in the future." Ning Chao wasn't angry at Lu Sijia's blatant arrogance and mockery. He showed his white teeth and said, "Yeah, I'm not like Miss Lu who dresses up extravagantly for boys every day. I wonder which unlucky old baby will end up with her." Lu Sijia's face turned red with anger. She picked up a book and hit him. "You dead loser. You dare to provoke me too?" He dodged. Hey, can't hit me, can't hit me. Lin Weixia sighed. All right, I'll just explain the most important problem types to you. You don't need to sit down. Ning Chao chuckled. Deal. Lu Sijiao also sighed. Weixia, you're too easy to persuade. At this moment, Ban Sheng walked in, followed by Qiu Minghua, chatting and laughing. Young Master Ban, invite us to your house to play games this weekend. He didn't answer, his gaze falling on Lin Weixia and Ning Chao. Lin Weixia poked him. Ning Chao, wake up. Are you listening? He supported his head, drowsily saying, I'm listening, but physics is like gibberish to me. I can't help but feel sleepy. After saying that, he fell asleep. Lin Weixia couldn't help but sigh. Qiu Minghua kept waving in front of Ban Sheng. Young Master Ban, is it okay or not? Ban Sheng lowered his head, took out his phone, and did something. After a while, he looked up. No, I have something this weekend. Meanwhile, Lin Weixia's phone received a message notification. She opened it to check. It was a message from Ban Sheng, replying to the message she sent last Wednesday. Spend a day with me this weekend. She immediately looked up at Ban Sheng, feeling inexplicably awkward. The gentle top student girl couldn't go to the rich young Master Ban Sheng's house to help him with essay writing due to discomfort from her period. But Ban Sheng was very considerate and sent her a bowl of 5 red bean porridge to help with her period symptoms. Ban Sheng sent another new message. The screen lit up again. He slowly added the word essay. Lin Weixia typed to inquire, instinctively putting up a defense. While she was typing with her head down, he curved his lips and replied. After replying, he immediately turned off the screen. Lin Weixia's phone rang once. She opened it and saw that Ban Sheng had replied with an On the weekend, Lin Weixia hadn't gotten up yet. Her stomach was in pain. Due to her constitution, every menstrual period felt like going through tribulation. Last time she fainted at the school gate, and the time before that she went to the hospital for N4. She had originally agreed to go to Ban Sheng's house, but now thinking about it, Lin Weixia's eyelashes fluttered. She picked up her phone and typed a message to Ban Sheng. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well due to my period. I can't come to your house today. At 11 o'clock, the landline in the living room rang. Lin Weixia was too tired to move. She strained her voice to call out to someone. Gao Hang, answer the phone. From across the room came Gao Hang's voice, shouting into his microphone. I've had it with you. Are you playing with your feet? If you're this bad, don't drag your teammates down. Lin Weixia opened the door and looked at Gao Hang. He was pounding the keyboard loudly while playing games. The room was filled with his roaring voice. Damn. Do you know how to move? It seemed he couldn't hear. Lin Weixia had no choice but to close the door. She went to the living room to answer the phone. Xia, I have something to do at noon and won't be back. Remember to cook for Hang. Lin Weixia hesitated, then spoke. Aunt, I'm not feeling well. Can we order? Her aunt's background was noisy. She seemed to hint at something. Oh, I paid the water and electricity bills this month. Having an extra person eating at home makes a difference. It's all your uncle's fault. Oh, what were you saying just now? She swallowed the words order takeout and said, Nothing, Aunt. I'll cook lunch. Lin Weixia was in agony, her lips pale. She had to force herself to wash the rice and cook. At this time, Gao Hang came out eating an apple. Sis, your stomach hurts? Don't cook. Let's have instant noodles. Lin Weixia smiled faintly, changing the subject. Do you think I'd give you a chance to eat junk food? He scratched his head. I'm just worried about you. Lin Weixia picked up a vegetable. Then don't be lazy. Come help me prepare the vegetables. While she was making soup, her stomach pain got worse. Suddenly, her phone rang. She pressed the answer button. Ban Sheng's voice came from the other end. What are you doing now? She was very tired, her mood continuously low and in pain with cold sweat. She replied stiffly, cooking. Nothing else. I'll hang up now. Without waiting for any response, Lin Weixia quickly ended the call. Ban Sheng was stunned. Wasn't she feeling unwell? Yet she's still cooking. At this moment, Lin Weixia couldn't hold on any longer. She kept holding her stomach. She walked over and put her phone on the table. Gao Hang, I've set an alarm on my phone. Remember to turn off the stove when it goes off. I'm going to rest in my room. I'll come out to stir-fry later. Gao Hang responded. In her sleep, Lin Weixia vaguely heard Gao Hang repeating in the living room. No, this is Building 16, Unit 7. Come in, go straight, turn left at the 3rd corner, then right, and you'll be there. If you can't find it, never mind. I'll come down to find you. Lin Weixia was woken up. Who was Gao Hang talking to on the phone so loudly? Lin Weixia had slept for a while when Gao Hang woke her up, telling her to come out for dinner. Lin Weixia walked out with a dizzy head. She found the table full of exquisite dishes, their aroma filling the air. She asked where they came from. Gao Heng replied cheerfully, I answered a delivery call for you earlier. The delivery guy couldn't find the place, so I went down. I met a handsome guy downstairs. He said he's your classmate. He also told me to keep an eye on you. Drink the porridge and use the warm patch to relieve menstrual pain. When I opened the lid, it was a 5 red bean porridge for relieving period pain. The steam rose to my face. He directly put the 5 red bean porridge in Lin Weixiao's arms, then frantically took photos. This is a high-end restaurant after all. He had to take photos to show off. Lin Weixiao looked at the 5 red bean porridge in front of her, feeling a bit flushed. The first person she thought of was Ban Sheng. The gentle and studious girl Lin Weixiao couldn't keep her appointment due to menstrual pain. When the arrogant young master from a wealthy family found out, he immediately sent her warm patches. After finding her phone, Lin Weixiao went back to her room, closed the door, and found that number in the call history. She called back. The call was answered quickly. Lin Weixiao spoke first. Thank you this time. How much was the takeout? I'll transfer the money to you. Ban Sheng suddenly interrupted her. Have you drunk the porridge? Lin Weixiao felt it was strange, but still responded. Before she could finish, Ban Sheng paused. Go drink it first, and put on the warm patch too. Lin Weixiao insisted on clarifying these things with him. But you ordered all this food. It must have cost quite a bit. I can't just accept it for free. Suddenly, she heard a car honk twice outside. Ban Sheng looked up, then save my number. He walked over and opened the window, looking outside. His tone was a bit hesitant. Or should I just help you revise your essay online? Ban Sheng saw her and called out, Lin Weixiao. When she saw him, her heart started pounding uncontrollably. They looked at each other from a distance, unable to take their eyes off for a moment. A few seconds later, Ban Sheng chuckled softly. His tone was playful yet assertive. You owe me a day. You can't escape what's mine. Monday, at the school cafeteria. Lin Weixiao looked at his plate full of vegetables and couldn't help but feel touched. Sijia, eat more meat. Don't just eat vegetables. You're beautiful whether you're thin or not. There's no need to diet anymore. He sighed. It's fine, I don't have much appetite for food. If only we could sustain life through saline injections. Ning Chao, who was passing by with a bowl of rice noodles, glanced at his food and sneered. My goodness. Even chickens eat better than you. Lu Sijiao raised her chin and narrowed her eyes, her voice tinged with displeasure. Who are you calling a chicken? Ning Chao retorted sarcastically. You're the one who took offense. Lu Sijia was furious. She stood up abruptly, about to curse. A strong smell of rice noodles wafted into her nose. The impact was too much. She quickly covered her nose. What are you eating? It stinks. Go away, go away. Ning Chao took a deep breath of the aroma. It's rice noodles. What's smelly about it? I guarantee you'll love it if you try a bite. Suddenly, a tall, slender figure approached. A silver tray clattered onto the opposite table. Is anyone sitting here? When Lu Sijia saw it was Ban Sheng, her voice became excited. She immediately stood up. No. Lin Weixiao was stunned, feeling a bit at a loss. She was about to say, you can sit across from me, when the next second, she saw Chiu Minghua carrying a tray. He sat down in front of him. Oh, if no one's here, I'll make myself at home. Lu Sijia silently rolled her eyes. The group continued eating. Lu Sijia looked at Ban Sheng's milk and asked, why do you drink a bottle of milk every day? Lin Weixiao ate while paying attention. She heard Ban Sheng's crisp reply, of course, to grow taller. Chiu Minghua frowned. Grow taller? You're already 187 centimeters. How much taller do you want to be? What about us shorties? After shaking his shoulder, Chiu Minghua started leaning on Ban Sheng, hand on his shoulder. Besides, Master Ban, your shoulders are so broad. It feels so safe leaning on you. Master Ban's shoulders and muscles, it's so comfortable to lean on. Lu Sijiao laughed out loud. It's too much for my eyes. Help! As Lin Weixiao was bringing food to her mouth, she inexplicably thought of the time she accidentally fell on Ban Sheng when getting into his car in the front foot area. Because they were so close, she felt the vibration of his chest. And that time when they played basketball together, they were also very close. Lin Weixiao was lost in thought, about to put a chili pepper in her mouth. Lu Sijia looked shocked. Weixiao, why are you eating chili peppers? The gentle, studious girl Lin Weixiao was bullied by a male classmate. The arrogant, cool, rich young master actually cried in public. Lu Sijia looked shocked. There's chili in your mouth. Lin Weixiao exclaimed. I mistook the chili for a green bean. Ban Sheng kept looking at her, his eyes saying, what are you thinking about? It can't be what I'm thinking, right? With a mischievous expression. Lin Weixiao got nervous and choked, coughing loudly. Lu Sijia quickly handed her a bowl of soup. Lin Weixiao took it and was about to drink it. Suddenly, A boy with glasses rushed over with his tray. He accidentally knocked over the bowl of soup. The oil and soup spilled onto Lin Weixia. Her white shirt uniform quickly soaked through, leaving a large, oily soup stain. The boy with glasses tried to escape in the chaos. Ban Sheng, without looking up, reached out and pulled him back. His voice lowered, tone emotionless. Apologize, the boy with glasses argued. Why should I? It's his fault for not holding the bowl steady. Ban Sheng silently tightened his grip on the other's wrist, visibly squeezing it. The pain made the other's head throb, repeatedly crying out in pain. He still maintained a casual tone. Apologize. Don't make me say it twice. The boy with glasses immediately bowed repeatedly and apologized. I'm sorry, classmate. I'm sorry. It's my fault for not watching where I was going. Lin Weixia, tugging at her clothes and wiping with a tissue, said, It's okay this time. Just don't run so fast next time. In the student lounge, Lin Weixia was changing inside. Yusi waited outside, lighting a cigarette. This set of clothes is from Ban Sheng. Try it on and see if it fits. Lin Weixia smiled. Where did he get it from? Lu Sijia tilted her head and smiled outside the door. Don't you remember? He supplies the school uniform production chain. After changing, she looked in the mirror. She noticed her necklace was missing from her neck. There was a moment of panic. She immediately crouched down to search. She didn't know where she had dropped it. Lu Sijia's voice carried a hint of displeasure. It was during the midterm exams. I performed poorly because I was distracted during that time. She looked outside from inside. Then she heard him say, Ban Sheng, I won't give up. He won't lose to you either. Then the voice disappeared. Lu Sijia left the place, and he was still standing there stupidly. It took him a long time to realize that Jinghai cared a lot about Lu Sijia. Inside the classroom, he heard a commotion. Damn little girl, how dare you bump into me? Are you looking for death? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. My clothes are dirty now. How are you going to compensate me? He saw a tall boy bullying a girl. He walked over and shielded her behind him. How much does it cost to wash your clothes? I'll compensate you. The boy snorted coldly. I'll let you off this time for the pretty lady's sake. Watch where you're going next time. The girl said softly, Thank you. Actually, I wanted to find you. The main subject notes. He smiled slightly. They're on my desk. You can go get them. If there's anything you don't understand, feel free to ask me anytime. He walked out of the classroom carrying test papers. Ban Sheng stood there with a roguish air, leaning casually against the side. Lin Weixia pretended not to see him and walked straight past, intending to leave. But Ban Sheng stretched out one long leg, directly blocking the doorway, not letting her out. She was a bit helpless. Just as she was about to speak, Ban Sheng took out an amber pendant shaped like a leaf. You dropped this at noon. Lin Weixia's pupils suddenly contracted. She instinctively reached out to take it. You found it? But he held the pendant high, meeting a pair of dark, narrow eyes. His tone was leisurely. Seems important. Who gave it to you? Lin Weixia became anxious. She begged desperately. Please give it back to me. His palm was still. It was the first time he'd seen her so nervous. He sneered lightly and slowly leaned in. How about this, begged me. I'll consider giving it back to you. Southern drinks inventory. Cool refreshments coming. Sugar-free salty lemon. More suitable for Lu Sijia's taste. Recommended by Lin Weixia. Salty lemon flavor. Love it for life after one sip. Drink herbal tea in summer to reduce heat. Recommended by Lin Weixia. Ants heat-clearing and detoxifying tea. Specially treats summer heat. Every morning, Lu Sijia would put a bottle of Qingwang brand milk on Ban Sheng's desk. Recommended by Qiu Minghua. Qingwang milk is Master Ban's secret to growing taller. Lin Weixia would always bring chicken soup for Lu Sijia. Ning Chao saw it and wished he could snatch it for himself. Recommended by Lu Sijia. Better consumed in winter. Nourishing soup, essential for cold patients. Whenever Ban Sheng asks once, Lin Weixia would treat him to coconut milk jelly. Recommended by Ban Sheng. Tastes okay, wouldn't refuse a second time. The gentle, studious girl actually helped her best friend pursue the boy she cared about. How painful that must be. Seeing Lin Weixia so nervous, Ban Sheng sneered lightly. If you beg me, I'll consider giving it back to you. The sadness in her eyes disappeared completely. Not angry, she looked straight at him. Please. Ban Sheng was stunned for a moment. He opened his hand and returned the pendant to Lin Weixia. After taking the pendant, she brushed past him. Is this necklace so important to her? She cares about it so much. In the afternoon on the playground, Ban Sheng was playing basketball with a group of classmates. Lin Weixia sat in the classroom, looking out the window. She spotted Ban Sheng immediately. Sijia suddenly called out to her. Drinking a bottle of milk, she said, We have physics lab this afternoon. Didn't I make a bet with Bansheng? He thinks fast and has clear ideas. If I follow him, would that be considered an easy win? Lin Weixiao lowered her eyes, looking at the sentence translation in the English exercises. Shark as a noun means sharka. Another extended meaning is expert. Her eyes moved slightly. Bansheng was like a dangerous shark, an expert at hunting, knowing it's dangerous and shouldn't get close, but still approaching. Lin Weixiao looked at her. Sijia, I heard that Bansheng's basketball spot every Friday isn't court 3. It's court 6. Lu Sijia's upturned fox-like eyes instantly lit up. She raised an eyebrow. Really? How do you know? Lin Weixiao smiled faintly. Am I an F student? They told me. Lu Sijia put her arm on his shoulder. All right, when I catch him, I'll treat you to ice cream. The most expensive kind. Just then, something hit her. She said angrily, Ouch! Who was that? Ning Chao raised an eyebrow. Lu Sijia, stay away. I'm trying to study. Lu Sijia folded her arms and sneered. Come on, Ning Chao. With your level, don't pretend to study. Ning Chao smiled. I still have room for improvement. At this moment, his phone alarm went off. It was already 6:30. Xiaoxin clicked on Bansheng's WeChat profile picture. Below was a signature. To reach the unreachable star. Scrolling down, there was just one picture. Just one picture, no text. The picture was of coconut milk jelly. Qiu Minghua commented below, was it good? Bansheng replied, it was okay. What level is okay? Wouldn't refuse a second time. Lin Weixiao smiled. She didn't expect he had this side to him. Then she told Lu Sijia that Bansheng also likes coconut milk jelly. Her eyes sparkled. Then this beauty. These 2 days, she started learning to make coconut milk jelly for Bansheng. The next day, Lu Sijia was injured while learning to make coconut milk jelly. Her delicate fingers were burned by the hot pot. Blushing, Lin Weixiao changed her bandage. Lu Sijia winced in pain. Bansheng is really hard to chase. Lin Weixiao lowered her head, carefully sealing her wound with a band-aid, and joked, but you can't resist his type, huh? Smiling, she tapped her forehead. Doesn't he like astronomy? I saw online these days that there will be a Milky Way arch phenomenon on Friday. Lu Sijia's expression brightened. Really? Even the heavens are on my side. Then I'll go find him after school on Friday. Maybe we can watch it together. Lin Weixiao looked up at Lu Sijia and said softly, Sijia, I hope you get your wish. The first class on Friday was PE. Lin Weixiao was still collecting Chinese homework. When she got to the last one, she found that Bansheng hadn't turned in his homework yet. She suddenly called out, Bansheng, you haven't turned in your homework. He found his homework notebook and handed it over. Lin Weixiao reached out to take it, but couldn't pull it away. Looking up, a pair of dark eyes were staring at her. When are you coming to my house? Lin Weixiao averted her gaze and lowered her head. We'll talk about it later. I'm busy this week. He smirked casually. Lin Weixiao, you're avoiding me again. Bansheng really loved Lin Weixiao. Even when he was angry, he would follow behind her, silently protecting her. The pull on the homework suddenly loosened. Weixiao looked up and found 2 strawberry soft candies. They slid across the notebook. What's this? Bansheng said casually. Bought something on the way. The shopkeeper gave them for free. Qiu Minghua scratched his head. Ban, do you have any more candies? I'm so hungry. Give me some to tide me over. He played with a pen in his hand, his movements lazy. He smiled. All gone, fed to the butterfly. Bro, do butterflies even eat candy? Bon Xin Kang. And they always fly away after eating. Qiu Minghua was confused. Ban, are you sure you're talking about butterflies? Lin Weixiao blushed listening to this, feeling a bit embarrassed. After school, they were drawing on the blackboard together. A girl got impatient. Exams are coming up. Who has time for this? Lin Weixiao sighed. We have no choice. Drawing on the board is done in rotation, and it's our turn now. She was very arrogant. This rotation system is unfair. It should only rotate among F students. My time is much more valuable than F students. Lin Weixiao disagreed. The rotation doesn't discriminate. Drawing on the board is also a student's duty. She jumped down. How is it not discriminating? The whole school discriminates. You should fulfill your task. Anyway, my hand is numb. I can't draw anymore. She left after saying this. Time passed silently. Lin Weixiao finally finished drawing. Without realizing it, night had fallen. Her phone had also run out of battery. As she was walking down the corridor, she suddenly heard the melodious sound of a cello. Lin Weixiao stopped in her tracks. She turned and walked towards that classroom. Those girls were practicing the violin. She then realized it was the cello club. She opened her hand, unconsciously sitting down. Taking the posture of holding a bow, she imagined herself standing on stage, playing the violin alone. A quarter of an hour later, There was a sound at the door. Lin Weixia stood in the dim light, watching several graceful girls walk out laughing and talking, their faces carefree and innocent. After everyone left, Lin Weixia stood there in a daze. Luckily, no one had discovered her. Otherwise, she would have looked too foolish. She also shouldered her backpack and hurried home. Just after walking for less than 3 minutes, with a pop, the school suddenly lost power. The surroundings plunged into darkness. She had night blindness and couldn't see clearly. She slowly moved to the wall. She stumbled down the stairs. After slowly descending just a few steps, her foot slipped and her ankle twisted. Her heart jumped as she was about to fall. In the panic, a steady hand firmly grabbed her backpack. Her whole body fell backward, bumping into a warm, broad chest. He smelled the familiar scent of ebony. His heart involuntarily skipped a beat. Looking up, he saw it was Ban Sheng, hurriedly standing up straight. He moved away from the boy's embrace and leaned against the wall. "Thank you. You haven't left yet," Ban Sheng answered casually. "Came back to get something." Ban Sheng stepped down 2 stairs, holding his black lighter. With a click, an orange flame sprang from his hand. It illuminated a nonchalant yet handsome face. "If you don't want to fall, stay close." The stairwell was dimly lit. Ban Sheng lazily walked forward. Lin Weixia followed behind. Her hand tightly gripped the boy's white jacket. One step at a time, one in front and one behind. Lin Weixia wasn't sure if it was her imagination, but he seemed a bit angry. After walking for a while, Ban Sheng suddenly stopped. Lin Weixia looked up at him, more certain that he was angry and in a bad mood. Lin Weixia let go of his jacket. He continued to hold up the lighter as he walked. Lin Weixia followed beside him. Suddenly, Ban Sheng turned around. He grabbed her pale wrist, stepping forward, pinning her against the wall corner. Their faces were close again. He looked down at her. Ban Sheng had already started to confess to Lin Weixia, but she said, "I'll be with you only if it snows in Nanjiang." Ban Sheng grabbed her pale wrist, stepping forward, pinning her against the wall corner. Their faces were close again. A security guard patrolled, sweeping a flashlight over. With a shout, "Is anyone still here? We're cutting the power. Leave school quickly." Ban Sheng nodded, indicating he understood. Ban Sheng's hand still held her wrist, looking as if he'd leave if she said so. He asked, "You're saying I should accept his confession?" Whether intentional or not, the tip of her pale nose immediately turned red, like a little rabbit. He gently held Lin Weixia's chin. Looking at her slowly, he said, "But who I like is my business. I want to pursue you." Lin Weixia stepped back. His approach was too intense, hard to handle. Looking at him with a resolute tone, "I'll be with you only if it snows in Nanjiang." Ban Sheng frowned slightly upon hearing this. This city hadn't seen snow in decades. Snow in Nanjiang was impossible. Ban Sheng chuckled, lazily straightening up and stepping back. "Don't be so absolute." After that night, Lin Weixia started avoiding Ban Sheng again. For any class activities or invitations involving Ban Sheng's circle, she always found excuses to refuse. Once or twice was fine, but as it happened more often, especially those who were discontented, they gossiped loudly as Lin Weixia passed by carrying her homework. Their tone was condescending. "Just because her grades are a bit better, what's there to be proud of? Yeah, no matter how many bonus points she accumulates, she's still an F student at heart. Poor background, dumb, only knows how to study." Fang Mo, who was accompanying her, changed expressions several times. Back at their seats, he looked anxious. "Weixia, are you okay?" BA students always gossip like this behind people's backs. "Just endure it." Lin Weixia was distributing homework. She responded calmly, "This time I won't endure it." Then she turned to look at them. People who behave so childishly are simply trying to put others down to gain a cheap sense of superiority. And this pathetic pleasure often comes from the intense reaction of others. But I refuse to give them the reaction they want. Hearing these words, the group of girls' faces darkened, looking somewhat comical. Fang Mo said admiringly, "Wow, Weixia, you're my idol." At this moment, Ban Sheng walked in through the door. Their eyes met. A few seconds later, Lin Weixia quickly put down the homework. "Fang Mo, help me distribute the homework. I need to use the restroom." She brushed past Ban Sheng without even looking up, avoiding his gaze. Ban Sheng glanced at her, his expression darkening as she left. She had been avoiding him all this time, yet why did she feel more troubled? She couldn't control her emotions just now. She ran into Ming Chao returning. Lin Weixia saw his bruised face and asked, "Did you get into a fight?" Ming Chao snorted, "Had a fight with those bastards from number 13 middle school. They love picking fights, so we obliged. Lin Weixiao was worried. I'll go to the infirmary to get you some medicine. Ming Chao pointed out, class is about to start. She didn't care and ran straight to the infirmary. Ban Sheng was standing at the door and saw this scene. He leaned lazily, his mood terrible, brows furrowed. Class was already halfway through when Lin Weixiao returned. Teacher Lu asked, "Where did you go?" A boy quipped, "Teacher, you don't know." The class rep went to get medicine for Ming Chao. Her deskmate knows how to care for people. The whole class burst into laughter. Lin Weixiao stood at the door, unsure what to do. Xiao Minghua laughed. Hey, you know what? They actually look good together. He casually glanced back at Ban Sheng, meeting his face, expressionless. But Xiao Minghua knew he was displeased. The handsome, carefree rich boy Ban Sheng was actually jealous. But he was determined to make Lin Weixiao unable to leave him. Lin Weixiao saw Ming Chao awkwardly applying medicine to his face. She sighed softly. "Let me help you." Lin Weixiao held a cotton swab, moved her chair closer. Their distance suddenly shortened. She was about to apply medicine to Ming Chao's wound. A cold voice like iced tea came. "Ming Chao, come out for a moment." She looked up. Ban Sheng wore a black hooded jacket, half of his sharp face hidden in shadow. Their eyes met. His eyes were like a dark sea. One look could swallow a person whole. Ming Chao stood up, teasing, "Chi-Chi, isn't your Ban Sheng too good to talk to people like us?" Walking towards Ban Sheng, he laughed and said, "Let's go." Lu Sijia happened to see this scene and felt their atmosphere was off. She asked, "Do you know why Ban Sheng is looking for Ming Chao?" He shook his head, not knowing. Lu Sijia, while doing her nails, said, "Weixia, you'll still help me pursue Ban Sheng, right? Tomorrow." Before she could finish, Lin Weixiao interrupted her. "I'm sorry, I might not be able to help you anymore." Lu Sijia was focused on applying her favorite glitter to her index finger. Her hand slipped, and the shiny sequins along with the nail polish went out of bounds. She had always been certain that Lin Weixiao would help her. Suddenly being refused, she couldn't find the right words for a moment. Lin Weixiao pulled out a tissue, took Lu Sijia's hand, and lowered her eyes. She gently wiped the nail polish off the edges, speaking slowly. "The Chinese teacher recommended me for the national poetry competition. I might not be able to accompany you for a while. I won't be able to go to the basketball club either." Lin Weixiao was indeed going to participate in the poetry competition. When she heard this news, she processed it for a moment, understanding. She then said, "I can go out after this. I'll say my bestie is not only beautiful, but also writes poetry." Lin Weixiao laughed and pinched her thigh. "You're just talking nonsense, haha." "I'm not talking nonsense. You are a beautiful lady." Lin Weixiao thought that if she kept her distance from Ban Sheng, after some time, everything might return to its original simple state. Outside the classroom, Ban Sheng was playing with a lighter, his eyes betraying some troubled emotions. He didn't know what the two of them had talked about. After school, a typhoon hit, accompanied by heavy rain. Lin Weixiao was waiting for the bus at the station. Suddenly, she received a call from her aunt asking her to pick up Gao Hang from number 13 middle school. The wind came swift and fierce, making Lin Weixiao's umbrella shake unsteadily. A black Maybach rushed over, making a sharp braking sound, stopping in front of her. The window rolled down, revealing Lu Sijia's face. She called out, "Weixia, where are you going?" "Let Ban Sheng give you a ride." Lin Weixia smiled and refused. "No need, I'll take the bus." Lu Sijia turned to look at the boy on the other side, lazily leaning back in the rear seat playing with his phone. Lu Sijia tugged at his sleeve. Ban Sheng finally deigned to look at her getting in the car. Lin Weixia still refused. Ban Sheng gave the driver a look. The next second, the black car sped away like an arrow released from a bow. Ban Sheng was typing on his phone. If Lin Weixiao wanted to keep avoiding him, he was determined to make it impossible for her to avoid him. At the same time, Lin Weixiao's phone screen lit up. She opened it to look. It was a message from Ban Sheng. "Come to my house this weekend." He was referring to the time Lin Weixiao owed him. As she was hesitating on how to refuse, Ban Sheng, as if guessing her thoughts, lazily added, "If you don't come, I'll tell Lu Sijia that I'm interested in you." Ban Sheng actually invited Lin Weixiao to view his unique swimming pool, indicating she wasn't an outsider. Lin Weixiao lowered her head, holding her phone, replying to Ban Sheng's message. Meanwhile, Ban Sheng in the car looked back at Lin Weixiao waiting at the bus stop. Lu Xijia asked Ban Sheng, "Are you in a bad mood today?" Just then, his phone vibrated. He checked the message. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Who said that because Lin Weixiao replied, "I won't break my word," he immediately became very happy. She took the bus to number 13 middle school. Before she could even bring the umbrella in, Gao Heng ran out, making a face. Still, Big Sis is the most thoughtful. As he got closer, her vision became clearer. Lin Weixiao noticed the wound at the corner of his mouth and asked, "What happened to you?" "Got into a fight." Gao Heng's expression darkened. Then he forced a smile. "No, I just bumped into something on the way. Let's go home quickly." Just as they were about to leave, a frivolous whistle came from not far away. "Isn't this Gao Heng? Not being a coward today, huh?" Then 3 or 4 figures emerged from the shadows. The leader swayed his head, holding a knife in his hand. "Where did this pretty little sister come from? Introduce us." Gao Heng's expression changed. He shielded Lin Weixiao behind him and sneered, "Recognize your mother. Try it if you dare." The wind blew stronger. The rain intensified. It stung as it hit their bodies. The typhoon was clearly approaching. They exchanged a few more words. Then the group ran away. As soon as they left, Gao Heng reverted to his gentle demeanor in front of her. Lin Weixiao looked at him and said, "I won't tell Anne about this today, but you can't fight outside anymore." Gao Heng took her backpack with one hand. He replied in a pleasing tone, "I understand. Let's go home, sis." Due to the typhoon's passage, the next few days were gloomy. The temperature dropped. It was exceptionally cold. On the weekend, Lin Weixiao wore a brown-yellow knit cardigan to meet Ban Sheng. A sound came from not far away. Lin Weixiao looked up. A tall figure entered her vision. Ban Sheng was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, the hood casually pulled over his head. They walked in together. Her first impression of Ban Sheng's house was emptiness and coldness. Standing in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling windows, she saw the blue swimming pool right next to it. Tiny ripples floated on the surface. The blue was infinitely close to summer. Her gaze extended outward. Outside the yard was a sea of green grass. Ban Sheng told her to look around freely. Lin Weixiao spoke up. "Isn't your pool off-limits to others?" Ban Sheng lowered his head and let out a soft, deep laugh. He walked right up to her and said naturally, "Do you think you're just anyone?" His low voice, like ice cubes clinking, crept into her ear. His warm breath brushed her ear, causing the skin behind it to gradually redden. Lin Weixiao's heart skipped a beat. Ban Sheng pushed open the pool gate. "Come in and take a look," he smiled. Lin Weixiao stepped forward. The endless blue asked her, "Do you like swimming?" Ban Sheng answered lazily, indistinguishable between truth and lie. When you're alone underwater holding your breath, just as you reach your limit, there's a feeling of being able to leave the whole world behind. It feels great. Lin Weixiao stood there looking at the blue pool, lost in thought. A sharp pain flashed in her eyes. A casual inquiry came from behind. Before she could react, someone pushed her from behind. Lin Weixiao's toes turned, her whole body leaning forward uncontrollably. She cried out in fear, about to fall into the cold pool on this typhoon day. She was about to fall into the icy swimming pool. A hand with distinct knuckles rested on her chest. With a slight pull, it brought her whole body back. Lin Weixiao was still in shock, her chest heaving. She saw a nonchalant face. Ban Sheng burst into laughter, his shoulders shaking with each laugh. Lin Weixiao met a pair of pitch-black eyes, filled with mischievous laughter. He only looked at her. Gradually, the smile faded from Ban Sheng's face. As a tutor, invited to visit Ban Sheng's house, she needed to prepare a map of the villa in advance, a set of Chinese language materials. After preparing these, she arrived at Ban Sheng's house. Upon entering, the first thing she saw was the study. Surprisingly, there was a world map on the wall, along with signed photos of basketball stars and various astronomical pictures. They sat on the living room sofa. Bon Xing casually vanched Lin Weixiao. He even had the mood to prepare lessons on the spot. During the break, Lin Weixiao went to see the grand garden. It was lush green, very beautiful. Next, they came to the swimming pool. Lin Weixiao crouched there, trying to see something. Suddenly, it started raining. Ban Sheng took off his jacket to cover Lin Weixiao as they quickly ran from the balcony into the house. They were too close to each other. Lin Weixiao noticed and immediately distanced herself. Ban Sheng felt hurt. Why wouldn't she ask him for help just once? Lin Weixiao broke free from his grasp, coldly distancing herself. "Let's go inside and discuss the essay." Entering Ban Sheng's study was like entering another world. A world map hung on the wall. There were also a few signed photos of basketball stars. Most special were the astronomical photos covering the walls. Deep blue sky, white star trails, and gorgeous clouds. Ban Sheng smiled self-deprecatingly. That photo, I took it on a mountain in the northwest. Crouched there half the night, got altitude sickness, and even slid down the slope. Broke my leg. There's still a steel pin in there. Lin Weixia commented. You have quite the adventurous spirit. Ban Sheng turned and handed her a glass of water. Lin Weixia took it and saw it was her favorite salty lemon drink. Her fingertips touched the glass. It was room temperature. She marveled at his thoughtfulness. Ban Sheng stared at the photo and slowly said, I just like watching two lonely satellites interacting, until even their shadows overlap. Lin Weixia looked over and said, moved, it's beautiful. Ban Sheng looked up at Lin Weixia's quiet profile. He saw a strand of hair stuck to her fair cheek. His hand, hanging by his side, twitched. He raised it to tuck the hair behind her ear. But just as his hand was about to touch her ear, Lin Weixia became defensively alert. Her usually calm face showed ripples of emotion. She said urgently, don't touch me. Ban Sheng paused, staring at Lin Weixia's figure thoughtfully. The more he looked, the more his brows furrowed. Something fell off. Suddenly, Lin Weixia's phone buzzed. She glanced at the caller's name. She picked up the phone and turned away to answer. Her aunt's panicked voice came through. Weixia, your brother got into a fight. He sent someone to the hospital. The other family is rich and influential. No matter how we apologize, they won't accept a settlement. They're threatening to sue Hang. I called Hang. He's still young. What if this leaves a mark on his graduation record? What should we do? Even though she had her back turned, every word fell clearly into Ban Sheng's ears. Lin Weixia softly comforted her aunt for a few sentences. After hanging up, she turned to pack her things and said to Ban Sheng, I'm sorry, there's an issue at home. We'll continue the tutoring next time. As Lin Weixia was about to leave hurriedly, Ban Sheng called out to her, which school does your brother attend? What's the name of the family threatening to sue him? Lin Weixia turned back and said, 13th Middle School. The person who clashed with my brother is called Fong Huayong. He slowly said, oh, it's the Fong family. I've dealt with his brother Fong Huaikuei twice before. He looked at her with a slight smile. Your brother's issue can be resolved with just one word. Lin Weixia didn't speak again. His attitude was clear, as if it was just a matter of Lin Weixia saying the word. But what would be the price? She knew clearly. People like Ban Sheng had bad blood in their bones. Born negotiators. The rain outside grew heavier. Lin Weixia casually grabbed an umbrella, lowering her eyelashes. I'll go now. It's not good to walk in heavy rain. Ban Sheng tossed away what he was playing with in his hand. He shouted loudly. Lin Weixia didn't look back. She walked straight ahead. Lin Weixia, why won't you ask me for help even once? A while ago, for that amber pendant, you were willing to do anything. When she arrived at the hospital, she saw Gao Heng leaning against the wall from afar, looking dejected, with bruises on his face. Then she quickly walked towards him. Her aunt's voice was filled with sorrow, her face showing subservience. The child was impulsive and didn't know better. I apologize on his behalf. We'll cover the medical expenses. We'll pay whatever compensation you want. Please be magnanimous. The assistant pushed up his glasses. Ms. Lin, further discussion is pointless. Go home and prepare for the lawsuit. After the crowd dispersed, Lin Weixia helped him up. Back home, the dinner table was silent. No one spoke. Suddenly, her aunt spoke. Being sued can affect his future. Is there really no room for negotiation with the Fong family? Gao Heng stood up abruptly. Then let them sue. I'm not afraid of them. Ban Sheng's mood was at its worst. He exuded an air of dejection. His face seemed deliberately scratched. In the evening, Lin Weixia made 2 dishes and a soup. Gao Heng silently ate a few bites of rice and went back to his room. She picked up a piece of meat for her aunt. These days, I'll ask if any classmates can help. Her aunt came to her senses and quickly said, yes. Many students at your school come from well-off families. They can surely help. Her aunt picked up a piece of meat and put it in Lin Weixia's bowl. Thank you for worrying about your brother. On Monday, Ming Chao swaggered up the stairs carrying a broom. Lin Weixia hadn't seen Ming Chao since morning reading and thought he was absent. She didn't expect he was being punished with sweeping. Ming Chao tossed the broom into the corner, cursing, damn it, I'm sweeping to death. It's all because of those bastards from 13th Middle School. Hearing 13th Middle School, Lin Weixia's ears perked up. She stepped forward and tapped his shoulder. He was startled. Turning to see it was his desk mate, he immediately calmed down. Lin Weixia couldn't help but ask, do you know Fong Huayang from 13th Middle School's junior section? Ming Chao scratched his head. Don't know him. What's up? She lowered her eyes, her tone a bit low. My brother had a conflict with him, beat him up. Now they won't accept compensation and say they want to sue my brother. Hearing about these rich people's ways, Ming Chao sneered. At some point, he pulled out a folding utility knife from his sleeve, flicking out the blade in his palm. The light reflected in his pitch-black eyes. They're tough, huh? Want me to teach him a lesson for you? Lin Weixiao waved her hand. Forget it. First, using violence to counter violence is not right. If we really did that, I'm afraid the situation would only get worse. Lin Weixiao approached Lu Sijia again, asking, Do you know anyone from 13th Middle School? He was carefully applying lipstick. I don't, but Bansheng does. Want me to ask him for you? Lin Weixiao quickly refused and walked away. She then went to Feng Mu. Do you know anyone from 13th Middle School? He shook his head. Not really familiar with 13th Middle School. Later, she asked many people, but none knew that person from 13th Middle School. After school, she left with an umbrella. Her gaze was somewhat disappointed. She had asked everyone she knew, but there was no progress. Suddenly, her phone rang in her pocket. After answering, her aunt's joyful and relaxed voice came through. Hanger's issue is resolved, thanks to your classmate Bansheng. A few words, and they voluntarily withdrew the lawsuit. Now your brother's record won't have any blemishes. When he called, I was surprised. He said we didn't need to thank him. I think we should at least thank him in person, maybe treat him to a meal. Lin Weixiao sighed in relief. I understand. I'll go thank him. A few hours later, she arrived at Bansheng's doorstep. Hello, I'm Bansheng's classmate, Lin Weixiao. I'm here to see him. The aunt nodded. Come in, the young master is upstairs. Lin Weixiao went up to the second floor. Standing in the entrance, she found the living room unlit, completely dark. She pressed the switch on the wall. She saw Bansheng leaning against the wall, exuding an air of dejection. At his feet lay several cigarette butts of varying lengths and a bottle of alcohol. He was wearing a black jacket today, with shoulders half-soaked, a dark patch. His dark eyebrows and eyes were still wet with droplets. His face bore obvious wounds, some deep, some shallow. One long scar looked like a scratch. His mood was at its worst. Lin Weixiao recited her prepared draft. Gao Hang thanks you. If not for your kindness and enthusiastic help, my brother wouldn't have. As she was speaking, Bansheng suddenly let out a cold, mocking laugh. Without even looking at her, he mercilessly exposed Lin Weixiao. Can you be any more fake? Lin Weixiao was stunned. As she was about to say something more, Bansheng finally looked up. His tone was indifferent. If you don't want to stay, then get lost. She put down the gift and left immediately. At this moment, Bansheng felt abandoned by the whole world. His eyes were full of pain, shattered into pieces. Fortunately, Lin Weixiao, this savior, appeared and rescued him. After Lin Weixiao left, it was unbearably quiet. He tilted his head back and turned his palm, finding a blood streak on it. Blood kept oozing out, a shocking sight, but he felt no pain at all now. Bansheng picked up his phone, found that all too familiar number, and dialed. The receiver transmitted a cold voice. Sorry, the number you dialed is not answering. The phone was smashed against the wall. The black body slid down the wall onto the floor. Bansheng closed his eyes, his eyelashes trembling slightly. Everything was pitch black. His eyes were full of pain, shattered into pieces. In the end, they would all abandon him, right? After a moment of silence, a sound came from nearby. Lin Weixiao approached him, holding disinfectant to treat his wounds. She wanted to say something, but she hesitated. Bansheng opened his eyes alertly. He was stunned for a moment when he recognized who was in front of him. Are you afraid of me? Bansheng saw her silence. His heart ached a bit more. The medicine was already applied. You can go now. Lin Weixiao sat still. She hesitated. As she was about to leave, the aunt called out to her from behind. The young master never gets close to people, but you're the first girl to visit him at home. If you help Annie bring him medicine, he probably won't get angry. Lin Weixiao thus took the first aid kit. Every year on his birthday, he goes out alone. He comes back injured, but won't say anything when asked. As she spoke, she bowed deeply to him. If he's done anything wrong, Annie apologizes to you on his behalf first. When Lin Weixiao came to her senses, Bansheng had walked to a sofa nearby. He was holding a remote control and turned on the TV. Lin Weixiao went over and sat down next to him. She quietly kept him company, watching TV. Suddenly she asked, "Are you watching Game of Thrones? Which character do you like in it?" Ban Sheng raised an eyebrow, not answering directly. He asked back, "What about you? Who do you like?" "Arya, because she's very brave." They had been silent for too long. Ban Sheng leaned back on the sofa, stretching his long neck. He took a sip of alcohol and answered her question. "I don't particularly like any of them. All the characters have tragic elements. If I had to pick one, it'd be Tyrion. His birth was a mistake. His mother died in childbirth because of him. But he's naturally lustful, hypocritical, and frivolous. Who doesn't hate him?" Lin Weixiao looked at the screen and said quietly, "But in my view, behind his greed, lust, and frivolity, he's actually disguising his kindness. Although he's a dwarf, facing the prejudice of the world and the hatred of his family, he recognizes the truth but still chooses to live well." Ban Sheng chuckled. "You've watched it all?" Lin Weixiao shook her head. "I haven't watched it. I finished reading the original novel." If Ban Sheng remembered correctly, the original novel had 5 volumes. Later, the character relationships became complex. He smiled and said, "Such thick books. You managed to get through them?" She nodded. "Because I didn't have many friends before." Lin Weixiao remembered something, looked out the window, and suddenly stood up. "The rain has stopped. I should go." The next second, Ban Sheng grabbed her hand. Looking up at her, his words were forceful. "Didn't you come to thank me? Keep me company for a meal. Leave after we eat." At the same time, Lin Weixiao's phone buzzed. She took it out, unlocked the screen, and looked. It was a message from her aunt. "Xia, did you go to your classmate's house? He's our family's great benefactor. Treat him to a good meal, and he will give you money when you come back." She sighed. She had to stay for the meal before leaving. Just because Lin Weixiao said, "Happy winter solstice." It's a day worth celebrating. Hope blossomed anew in Ban Sheng's heart. "Lin Weixiao, you'll only make me like you more. I'm determined to pursue you." Lin Weixiao had no choice but to open Ban Sheng's refrigerator, planning to cook for the benefactor her aunt mentioned. But she found there weren't many ingredients. Ban Sheng suddenly remembered there should still be frozen dumplings. The aunt made them before. "We can make do with those." Lin Weixiao smiled slightly. "Perfect. Let's have dumplings then." In the kitchen, Lin Weixiao was cooking dumplings. She was cutting vegetables with her head down, so focused that she didn't notice when Ban Sheng slipped in and stood watching her at the doorway, until her phone rang nearby. Ban Sheng walked over, reached for it sideways, and saw the caller ID. "Lu Sijia," he told Lin Weixiao. She panicked. Instinctively, she tiptoed to grab it, but Ban Sheng was quicker. Taking advantage of his height, he raised his hand and answered the call. The young man stood behind her, his chest almost touching her back. He held the phone, leaning down slightly. He put the earpiece to Lin Weixiao's ear. A faint tobacco scent wafted over. His warm fingertips inadvertently brushed her delicate earlobe. Meanwhile, Lu Sijia's usual gentle voice came through. "Weixiao, what are you doing?" As soon as she finished speaking, the person behind her clenched his fist and coughed lightly. Lu Sijia alertly asked, "Is someone there with you?" Lin Weixiao snatched the phone and blurted out, "I promised to have dinner with someone." Lu Sijia's tone immediately changed. "Oh, someone? Looks like you have someone you like too." Lin Weixiao denied it. "No." Lu Sijia's voice turned dejected. "Ban Sheng zezet me. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. If only he liked me even 1/100 as much as I like him. Today, Zheng Xiaoxin confessed to me. That idiot. I only want to be Ban Sheng's girlfriend." The atmosphere suddenly seemed to cool. The dumplings in the pot boiled to their peak, rolling continuously. Lin Weixiao went to turn off the heat, finally finding an excuse to escape. Her eyes cleared. Wait a bit longer. At the dining table, the two sat facing each other and began eating dumplings. Neither said much. He picked up his chopsticks and poked around. He paused, somewhat surprised. "There's even a fried egg." Lin Weixiao nodded, picking up a fried egg from her bowl. "There's no longevity noodles, just fried eggs. Happy winter solstice. It's a day worth celebrating." Ban Sheng's previously calm eyes showed a change. For a moment, hope ignited, anticipating a beautiful life. He lowered his head and bit into the egg, its flavor spreading in his mouth. Suddenly, he lowered his head and smiled. But his expression didn't look like he was joking. "Lin Weixiao, you'll only make me like you more. I'm determined to pursue you." Lin Weixiao's heart skipped a beat. She couldn't accept it, nor could she agree. Fleeing in panic, she said, "The next batch of dumplings is boiling. I'll go check." After dinner, Bansheng called a cab to take Lin Weixiao home. As Lin Weixiao opened the car door and sat down, a slim figure slid in beside her. Lin Weixiao looked at him questioningly. Bansheng leaned back in his seat, looking nonchalant. "I'll accompany you home." Lin Weixiao turned her face to look out the window. Bansheng's phone made a ding notification sound. The carefree young master of a wealthy family was taking the girl he liked home for the first time. He even said goodnight. Chiu Minghua sent an SOS message. "Boss Ban, I've been bullied. You have to help me get even. Damn it. As soon as I left the internet cafe, I got into it with that bunch of bastards. Why aren't you responding? Have you abandoned me?" Seeing the last sentence, Bansheng sent back a string of ellipses. "Busy now." He typed another line in the chat box and sent it. "Can't manage everything," implying he had someone to take care of. The next second, the screen lit up. Chiu Minghua's tone was like a machine gun firing. He sent a row of question marks. "What do you mean you can't manage?" The more anxious Chiu Minghua got, the less Bansheng said. Being slyly mischievous, he directly turned off his phone screen, intentionally keeping him in suspense. Bansheng turned his head to look at Lin Weixiao beside him. She had drawn a smiley face on the car window. Bansheng's eyes instantly filled with love, extremely happy because he now had someone to take care of. Half an hour later, they arrived home, and Lin Weixiao got out of the car. After walking a few steps, she heard Bansheng's casual and relaxed voice from behind. "Lin Weixiao." Lin Weixiao turned back, confused. Bansheng sat in the car, just looking at her as he said, "Good night." Lin Weixiao also softly replied, "Good night." The next morning, Fang Mo told her that the class activity on Christmas Day would be exchanging gifts. We'll take turns drawing gifts prepared by others. I wonder who will draw mine. It's truly the favor of fate." Just as they walked into the classroom, they saw a group of girls surrounding Lu Sijia, chattering away. One said, resting her hand on Sijia's shoulder, "Sijia, what are you planning to give? Tell us what you're giving. All those boys will be fighting over it. But most importantly, Bansheng will definitely recognize Sijia's gift at a glance." Fang Montak Zait. Those students have good family backgrounds. Their gift will definitely be chosen first. If I give something and no one wants it in the end, it would be embarrassing. Lin Weixiao reached out and pinched his round cheek. "I want it." Fang Mo immediately hugged her. "Well, you're the best." After the between-class exercises, Lu Sijia asked Lin Weixiao with a smile, "Guess what gift I chose?" Lin Weixiao, while pulling out her test papers, smiled and replied, "I can't guess." Lu Sijia took something out of her pocket. Lin Weixiao looked at it. It was a silver lighter with "Solo" engraved on the edge. It gleamed silver, and the lines of the body were also very attractive. Lu Sijia indeed liked Bansheng very much, remembering his cigarette brand. As for Lin Weixiao, she didn't seem to have anything presentable. Maybe she should just give a book. Suddenly, her phone rang beside her. She picked up the phone to answer. A clean and cheerful voice came through the receiver. "Sis, I need your help urgently." Lin Weixiao's tone remained calm. "You're always in a rush." Gao Hang hurriedly said, "Sis, don't hang up. Please, sis, help me out." She quickly arrived at number 18, 3rd Street. Gao Hang looked worried. He had been shooting balloon guns for over an hour and lost all his money, cleaner than his face. Lin Weixiao picked up the balloon gun, aimed at the target with one eye, tested the feel, and said, "I'm not very good at this." The owner was cracking sunflower seeds. He glanced at the seemingly frail girl opposite him and said with a smile, "If everyone were good at this, I'd go out of business. I can't afford to lose money on this small business." As soon as he finished speaking, a series of bang 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 sounds erupted. The balloons popped one after another like blooming flowers. Gao Hang immediately applauded, instantly overjoyed. The owner's eyes widened in disbelief. Watching Lin Weixiao continuously hit his balloons, he wondered if this girl was cheating somehow. In the end, Lin Weixiao won the biggest white stuffed animal in the store. After the basketball game, Lin Weixiao hugged the stuffed animal, feeling it was too important to exchange as a Christmas gift in class. Gao Hang immediately disagreed. He exchanged gifts with Lin Weixiao because it was useful. "I want to give it to someone." Lin Weixiao understood and said teasingly, "Oh, you have a girl you like." As a result, a suspicious blush appeared on Gao Hang's face. Afraid his sister would tell on him, he caught up and changed the subject. "Sis, you're too amazing. How did you hit every shot?" Lin Weixiao Weixia replied. The owner lowered the sights. So I just had to aim lower than the original position. She thought about giving a basketball, but it seemed too gender-specific. Better to give a book. Whoever gets it, it won't be wrong. The seemingly carefree and unrestrained young master, on Christmas Day, unexpectedly received a gift from the girl he loved, enough to make him happy all day. On Christmas Day, the basketball club required all members to attend a meeting. Everyone had to be present. Lin Weixia, who had been absent for a long time, had no choice but to go this time. Several girls surrounded Lu Xijia. Her gift was wrapped in blue paper with an S written at the bottom. She also posted a photo on Weibo with the caption, "Waiting for that person to come." The suffix on her mobile client was S. Seeing that letter S, everyone understood. It was nothing but a way to tell others that this gift was from her, Lu Xijia. No one could touch it except Ban Sheng. Lin Weixia was walking in the aisle when suddenly a strong force grabbed her wrist. She was pulled into the equipment room. Lin Weixia was pressed against the door by a boy, a dominating shadow looming over her. Lin Weixia frowned. Ah. Ban Sheng pressed close, his dark eyes bearing down on her. What did you give? Not far outside the door, Lu Xijia was chatting and gossiping with someone, a smile on her face. She seemed to see two shadows flash by, but when she looked carefully, there was nothing. She only saw the equipment room door shake a little, dust floating in the air. Lu Xijia called out towards the door. Weixia, is that you in there? The sound reached Lin Weixia's ears. She opened her eyes to look at Ban Sheng. He was still pressing against her, refusing to let go. Lin Weixia nervously said, I gave a book. Only then did Ban Sheng slowly release her. Lu Xijia then opened the door. Weixia, have you put away the equipment? She turned around, maintaining composure. I've put it away. Today was Christmas. Every class was filled with a lively atmosphere of gift-giving. The boys and girls in the class gathered to discuss the weather and talk about their wishes. Lu Xijia asked Lin Weixia, what's your Christmas wish? World peace. Li Xingran heard this and snorted. Can you be any more perfunctory? Lin Weixia's smile remained faint. I want to see the sea. Lu Xijia poked her forehead. Daydreaming again? What kind of wish is that? Qiu Minghua tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. Yeah, it's something you can see just by driving or taking the subway. I just don't want to go to the beach. Afraid of getting tanned? Ning Chao glanced at him and snorted. With your skin color, do you even need to tan? You already look like you grew up by the sea. Everyone burst into laughter. Qiu Ming's cheeks turned red comically. He threatened to fight Ning Chao. Lin Weixia tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and couldn't help but laugh along. Ban Sheng sat at his own seat, fully focused on the book in his hands. He hadn't participated in this conversation from beginning to end. When it came time to exchange gifts, all the lights on the Christmas tree lit up. The students went up to choose gifts according to the order they drew lots. Now it was Qiu Minghua's turn to pick a gift. He gently pushed the basketball with his hand. Lin Weixia stared intently at that basketball. When she saw Qiu Minghua pick it up halfway, she let out a sigh of relief. After the gift exchange activity ended, Lu Xijia's expression was excited. Ban Sheng didn't draw it. I don't know who took my gift, but I got a very Ban Sheng-like gift. Lu Xijia held a box in her hands. On top of it lay a beautiful string of handmade star-shaped light bulbs. As she pressed the switch, the bulbs immediately lit up. It brightened before her eyes, twinkling like stars in the sky. Lu Xijia's eyebrows were full of joy. Doesn't it look like the starry sky? This style, it must be from Ban Sheng, who likes astronomy. Ning Chao, who had already left the school, sneezed. He immediately suspected someone was talking about him. On the other side, Lu Xijia was still talking to Lin Weixia. She unconsciously looked in that direction and saw Ban Sheng's hand on Qiu Minghua's shoulder, leaning down to say something to him. After a while, Qiu Minghua actually gave him the ball. He seemed to lazily glance at Lin Weixia. Lin Weixia's heart suddenly skipped a beat, feeling a bad premonition. She hurriedly pulled Lu Xijia to leave quickly. The wind brushing past her ears was somewhat deafening. The affectionate Ban Sheng cherished the basketball given by his beloved girl. He deliberately engraved 3 words on it. Ban Sheng specifically emphasized that this was his personal item. Ban Sheng stood outside the classroom door. He received a message from Lin Weixia. How did you know I prepared a basketball? He smiled and opened a voice message to speak. Just in case. Your dad told me. Lin Weixia was furious at Gao Heng, that traitor. She continued to message, asking how Chiu Minghua agreed. You gave the basketball back to him? He replied instantly. He's always wanted to borrow my beach villa and equipment to go surfing. I agreed this time, exchanged it for the basketball. He was more than willing. The next day, Lu Sijia saw Ban Sheng come in. His face was full of embarrassment. The boys saw Ban Sheng holding a basketball and gathered around, saying, "Wow, a new basketball. Feels like you can buy this at the store at the school gate. What's so special about it?" During the second class break, students filed out of the classroom to the playground. As Lin Weixia slowly passed by Ban Sheng's seat, she glanced at the basketball. Surprisingly, there were 3 words engraved on the basketball. Ban Sheng's. She was stunned for a moment, then quickly pulled out a piece of paper from her pocket. She instinctively tried to rub it off forcefully. Unexpectedly, Ban Sheng returned and was amused by Lin Weixia's action. The words on it were painted with a spray pen by yours truly. The next second, he suddenly leaned in close and said meaningfully, "It can't be rubbed off." Lin Weixia pursed her lips and called him a scoundrel. A few days later, several girls gathered around discussing, "What do you think? Who gave Ban Sheng that basketball? He's been carrying it around all the time lately. Could it be from some girl? Otherwise, why would someone like him treat a basketball that costs just a few dozen yuan like a treasure and not let anyone else touch it?" Lu Sijia raised her eyebrows after hearing this. "All right, your imagination is good enough to write novels now." Ning Chao chimed in, "You don't have a desk mate. Don't you think these rich kids are used to privileges? All this A-level, F-level stuff, on the surface it's about comprehensive ability, but isn't it really just about whose family has more money and power?" He answered this question while doing exercises. "We still have the college entrance exam. No one has privileges before the exam. Are you still studying English tonight?" Ning Chao covered his face with a book. No, I get dizzy just looking at English." Another girl said, "But someone really saw Ban Sheng with a girl." Lu Sijia froze when she heard this. She came to Lin Weixia's side. In a casual tone, she joked, "Weixia, that basketball wasn't from you, was it?" The others kept their eyes on Lin Weixia, their gazes mixed with contempt and other emotions, all looking as if they were waiting for a good show. Lin Weixia's heart skipped a beat. She was a bit flustered but prepared to explain the whole situation. Lu Sijia suddenly chuckled and lightly tapped her forehead dismissively. "Why are you so nervous? I was just kidding." Lu Sijia was still thinking about the gift that was taken by someone unknown. Her beautiful eyes narrowed. "I clearly posted on Weibo. Who would dare to take my gift? Don't tell me there are still classmates who don't use the internet." Ning Chao, listening nearby, laughed mockingly. "You really think you're a queen, huh? Does everyone who goes online have to follow you?" Lu Sijia's expression gradually cooled. Just as she was about to lash out, Ning Chao pulled out a new silver lighter from his pocket. Lu Sijia looked over, and her beautiful eyes widened in disbelief. "Isn't this the lighter I bought? So you're the one who drew my gift." Ning Chao understood and laughed heartily, with a rather smug smile. "Thanks, little miss. I've never used a brand name lighter before. It feels pretty good." Lu Sijia was so angry her teeth itched. Without caring about anything else, she hit him hard on the head and turned around abruptly to leave. Lin Weixia asked in confusion, "Why do you always make Sijia angry?" Ning Chao rubbed the short hair on his head. "Doi, maybe I just can't stand that high and mighty young lady attitude of hers." That evening, when Lu Sijia returned home, she noticed a woman sitting on the sofa. She immediately got excited. "Mom, when did you arrive?" Ban Sheng only wanted to slowly get closer to the girl he liked, but Lin Weixia mistook it as reckless behavior. It hurt her heart too much. When Lian's expression was not good. "You called me back just to see your embarrassing grades?" Lu Sijia held her test papers, feeling somewhat lost. "Last time was an accident. It won't happen again." She stood up to leave. Lu Sijia quickly turned back. "Mom, aren't you staying for dinner?" She coldly replied, "Your sister is sick. I'm going back for a bit. I'll have dinner with you next time. The gift on the table is from France for you." Lu Sijia looked at the gift box, her eyes slightly bitter. She's remarried, yet still pretending to be a good mother. She turned and threw the gift into the trash can, then went upstairs without a word. Suddenly, when Lian turned back, "I heard a pretty impressive girl transferred to your class. An ordinary girl who easily surpassed you. I really don't know what use you are anymore. What's her name again?" Lu Sijia paused upon hearing this. "Nabashia. I won't let her have such an opportunity again." Lin Weixia was still in the lab, doing several sets of practical tests. In the end, she failed again, unable to figure out where she went wrong. At this moment, Ban Sheng walked in slowly, his voice casual and relaxed. "I'll teach you." Lin Weixia heard the voice and looked up. Ban Sheng stood at the door with one hand in his pocket. She suddenly remembered Lu Sijia's slightly questioning tone that day. That basketball wasn't from you, was it? She turned to look at Ban Sheng, who was operating. Don't bring that basketball to school anymore. His tone was calm and self-assured. Not good. Lin Weixiao looked away, her voice soft, but her emotions indescribable. There's another basketball at home. I plan to give it to Qiu Minghua. Ban Sheng's expression didn't change. He chuckled. He wouldn't dare to accept it. Lin Weixiao looked up, her amber eyes on him. Are all people like you so arbitrary? I heard Qiu Minghua is very afraid. Ban Sheng suddenly leaned in. A pleasant scent of ebony wafted over, but he didn't get too close. His dark eyes scanned her from head to toe, carefully and repeatedly, with a hint of huskiness. Are you trying to say that I'm the kind of person who takes advantage of my good background and pushes others around as I please? He suddenly chuckled. If I were really arbitrary, do you think I would have touched you by now? Hearing this, Lin Weixiao's face immediately turned red. She pushed him away forcefully. She turned and walked out, calling him shameless. The real physics experiment test came on Thursday. It was group cooperation. The classroom was noisy, but quieted down immediately when the physics teacher arrived. Zhao Li, Lin Weixiao, and Qiu Minghua stood together. Before starting, he glanced around the room. Inadvertently, he saw Ban Sheng and Lu Sijia diagonally across from them. The physics teacher was very satisfied with their experiment and gave them full marks. Then he looked at Lin Weixiao's group. The result wasn't satisfactory. He gave them 60 points. Lu Sijia heard this score and glanced at Lin Weixiao without any emotion. After class, Qiu Minghua saw her and handed her a piece of chocolate with a sigh. Lin Weixiao took it and said thank you. He stammered, "You seem to have misunderstood me and Ban. He's always been good to me." Lin Weixiao was stunned, feeling the words were too heavy. Ban Sheng would send the girl he liked home every night. Occasionally, he would prepare some small surprises to make her happy. Qiu Minghua scratched his head. "You seem to have misunderstood me and Ban. He's always been good to me. Do you know the nature of this private school? My dad is a nouveau riche. When I first came to class, everyone mocked me, but Ban didn't. He's always been a loner in this school, extremely cold. Until one day my family went bankrupt, and I was devastated. It was Ban who actively sold the school uniform design to the principal, demanding that the principal give him this production chain. In the end, he went to ask his father. He asked his uncle to give this project to my dad to do. It was his family that helped mine, and that's how we got back on our feet. So I consider him a lifelong brother." He continued, embarrassed. "It was I who gave your gift to Ban. The fault is mine. Don't blame him. He's never asked me for anything." Lin Weixiao was stunned upon hearing this. She never knew Ban Sheng had this side to him. Two girls were following right behind Lu Sijia, chatting and laughing. As they passed by Lin Weixiao, she stopped and asked Weixiao if she wanted to go for ice cream. Lin Weixiao declined her invitation, citing matters at home. After school, she stood in the hallway of the teaching building, gazing at the sky ahead, lost in thought. Her mind was still immersed in the earlier conversation with Ban Sheng in the lab. She had been too prejudiced against Ban Sheng, misunderstanding him. Lin Weixiao took out her phone and sent him a message. "I have something to tell you." Ban Sheng replied instantly. "Okay, wait for me in the lab." She arrived at the lab as agreed. Not long after, Ban Sheng appeared, walking over leisurely. He stood at the lab bench and began the experiment. After a while, he suddenly spoke. "You didn't understand the principle clearly. The order is reversed. You should measure surface tension first, then measure the wetting phenomenon." As he spoke, the white paper hanging in the beaker began to slowly change color. The 7 colors gradually connected with each other, intermingling. Ban Sheng looked at the scene before him and said, "Like this capillary phenomenon, it's the result of the interaction between surface tension and wetting phenomenon." Next, Ban Sheng asked Lin Weixiao to redo the experiment. She sat down seriously. The young master band stood beside her, occasionally reminding her. Though his words were few, each hit the mark with clear logic, commanding respect. A few minutes later, sure enough, the experiment finally succeeded. Lin Weixiao felt very pleased, unable to describe her current feelings. As she was hesitating on how to apologize to Ban Sheng, a flash of light suddenly appeared in the distance, dazzling her eyes. Lin Weixiao looked over. Ban Sheng had produced a reflective mirror from somewhere, aiming it at her completed experiment. Still maintaining his arrogant demeanor, but with a smile on his lips, he said, "I'll give you a rainbow." A seven-colored light immediately appeared on the opposite ground. Even the shadows on the ground were rainbow-colored. This dazzling moment was both brilliant and fleeting. Lin Weixiao looked up at him, her tone sincere. About the previous matter, I misunderstood you. I'm truly sorry. Ban Sheng was stunned for a moment. It was the first time he had seen this girl speak to him so politely, looking so vulnerable. He chuckled lightly and said casually, "Am I so easily appeased?" After a few seconds, he added, "I'll send you home later. Don't worry, I'll keep my distance." Lin Weixiao remained silent, turning to clean up the experimental tools. As she was leaving, he smirked casually. "Besides, you still owe me a wish. As sincerity for your apology." Hearing this, Lin Weixiao wanted to curse, but for some reason, she swallowed her words. She just felt that this person was really pushing his luck. Since that day, Ban Sheng had fully followed through on his words. Almost every day, he would send Lin Weixiao home. Even if he had other matters, he would postpone them for Lin Weixiao, rain or shine. Lin Weixiao never waited for him to finish his business. She would just go home by herself.